Audio check 1, 2, 2. Hello, everyone at home. If you're already listening, we're going to be starting at 7:15, so we'll see you all soon. Hello, check 1, 2. Audio test. Hello, everyone. We're going to be starting at 7:15. If you're already listening, so stick around, and we'll see you soon. Hello and welcome back to the Kicking Back podcast. I'm joined here today with James Davies. How are you, sir?
It's pronounced Davis.
Davis. Oh yeah, why did I say Davies? How are you, James Davis?
I'm not too bad, Brad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm glad to have you here on this little podcast show. It's very good. It's very good. Matthew?
Good. I'm very good, Brad.
Yeah?
How are you?
I'm good, man. Yeah. You had a busy day?
No.
No? Fucking chill, man.
Yeah.
Nice, man. So, James, for the many, many people that are watching at home,
Thousands.
do you want to just give them a little explanation about who you are, what it is you do, why you're here?
Why I'm here?
The big question.
You invited me. I don't know. That's what to say. Sorry. Who I am? Well, I'm James. For
Hi,
a start,
James.
I'm a musician.
Mm.
I've been told.
Yeah.
That's about all I've got. To report, really, yeah.
That's what you've got.
Yeah. Can you be
Do you-
more specific?
Okay, right. Do you want to tell us about some of the projects that you do then, James? Is that specific?
No. I play for a few people now, which is nice. I play for Will Hearn, who I believe was on
A few weeks
ago. That
yeah.
fucking pisshead. I've been playing with him for a couple of years now. I think we're about to do a collaboration, which would be nice.
Nice.
But he did it the most Will Hearn way.
Go on.
I released one song of me playing in some sort of mill. And he messages me the next day, just like, "Oh, we should do a collaboration. You can." I was like, "Sure, I'll write you a song, Will. That sounds good." Yeah, nice. Yeah. But no, that should be fun.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
That'd be nice. I play for Might Be.
Nice.
I'm wearing a bit of Might Be merch at the minute, but you cannot see it.
Oh, what is it?
It is a vest.
I'm not going to ask you to expose it.
Yeah, not yet. You're not.
Not yet. Maybe later.
Yeah.
We'll see how we get on.
Yeah, but
Nice.
it's good. That's all I can say about that. It's good.
Vest.
It's a good vest.
As far as vests go.
And I play.
Whoa, what's going on over there? Bloody hell, people in the back.
Sorry about that. That
We're
was
kicking back, James.
Yeah,
that was
just
George
relax.
clicking wrong buttons.
Oh.
Is that not typical?
All right, anyway, we're breaking the immersion here, people.
It's a living room.
Yeah, it's a living room.
We're kicking back. It's nice.
We're having a conversation. Right, so Will Hearn Might Be. Who else you got?
Oh, there's
there?
some other guy.
Which guys?
He was on a few weeks ago. Red hair?
I don't know what you mean, to be honest. Man.
No?
No. They can't be that important.
No. Does anyone have any idea?
Wait, are you asking the audience?
I'm asking the audience back home. He's got red hair.
No, I don't know. We'll
That's
skip past
basically
that.
his only feature I can think of.
Okay.
Anyway. He did a bit of producing for me from a song,
Right,
and I
okay.
did a bit of back and forth for him as well. But
Just can't remember his name.
no, it's it'll come back to me, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
talk about it later. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
God, that really made my mind go blank there. Is there anyone else to play for? I also play for a girl called Callie Statham, or Caligula, as her stage name goes,
who's
with
this?
George Grundy, the drummer.
Oh, right.
That's kind of more contemporary kerfuffle. Scary, more along the lines of scary.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Music, not for the scared
Yeah.
people. No.
And I play for Harry Hart. It's the other one.
Yes, we're having Harry on in a couple of weeks.
I find it really funny. Every member of that band, after Harry's on in a couple of weeks, will have played this podcast.
Really?
Every single member.
Wait,
yeah.
so who's in the band?
So it'll be Harry,
yeah,
and then me,
yeah.
then the redhead guy.
That guy, yeah. Don't know.
And then Nathan Carroll,
right.
and Dan Addison.
No way.
Yeah.
The boys.
Oh man, we should definitely do an episode and just get you all on. That'd be, I don't know why, but
Sounds
that'd be
like a hoot.
hilarious. It'd be great
Yeah.
once we're out of this COVID nonsense. Of
What?
course. What? You not heard about this? COVID. Okay, we don't need to talk about it. Well, I'll fill you in later, man. Don't worry.
Okay.
Honestly, don't worry about
It
it.
is a big deal, though.
I wondered what this was.
We just don't trust you.
Sure. I know I'm Irish, but Christ.
And of course, you know, you're here because you're doing your stuff as well, James. You forgot to ham up that.
Ham up that.
Yeah, give us some of the juice on that. Do you wanna tell us about this little thing that you're doing then. That you
Sure.
What you did a performance of.
Well, that implies that I have a grand master plan for it
Ah,
a little bit.
no,
But
not necessarily.
well, I just like writing songs for myself, but I'm a lot slower at writing songs than the other people I play for.
Right.
So, but I like playing with other people and they doing all their stuff, which is nice. But just thought I should try it myself. It's sort of a form of therapy for me as well, I'd say. But because it's very slow, I maybe just write 3 songs a year. Don't know. I can't exactly force songs out.
Yeah.
But I feel like as soon as I have a little bit of a repertoire, I can sort of decide if I want to do anything more with it.
So how long have you been writing this sort of stuff for then?
I've been writing music since I was 14.
Right.
But stuff I'm actually willing to show would actually just be the past 2 years, probably. Only 2 years.
Okay.
I'd say.
Was there a particular thing that gave you a kick up the arse to do it, or were you just like, I'm just going to do it now?
It was this pandemic you were referring to, I'd say.
Oh.
Was the main one. I was writing before that, but I think I'd only written 2 songs before that.
Right.
The pandemic, and I thought I might as well be productive.
Yeah.
So it's a very non-inspiring way of describing it.
No, man.
But
I was interested, obviously, because I've not heard you write before. Obviously, you do all your writing with your other projects, but it was refreshing to see your little thing that you were doing, man. It was cool.
Will this be your first performance as well?
yeah.
First live performance?
Yeah.
So it's a
That's
debut.
crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
of original music, yeah. But I've played solo before, but not my own stuff.
Right.
It's been more just playing piano in a restaurant.
You know any Billy Joel?
Yes. Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, I know Piano Man. Yes. Yes, I have a harmonica and a neck brace. Yes.
Oh, man. We completely got off topic there. So, right. How... Because I don't know where I can to place your music, so you're probably the man to tell me, hopefully. Like, what would you describe it as, or what artist does it kind of you draw an influence from that sounds similar to?
I don't know, the one that I just recorded with Sean, that's just him, Sean Rogan, with the song I recorded with him, it sounds very Sylvanesso, I think, mainly because of their newest album. It was just amazing.
Right.
I thought it was great. So that just had to have an influence in it. There was nothing I could do about it.
Right.
And then LCD Sound System always has a big place for me. Those are the 2 main ones. I also really like Massive Attack. That's kind of one that the only thing I listened to in high school that I still listen to now. I'd say the rest is utter dog shit.
What side of dog shit?
What side?
Yeah.
Pure evil. It's that side. Like unnameable stuff.
Oh god.
Rancid.
Yeah, but those are the 3 main. It's not very Massive Attack, but I feel like there's just always an influence of it there.
Okay.
I don't think influences necessarily mean that's what the music has to sound like.
No,
I
definitely.
think it's the sort of the songwriting of way of it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone else?
I don't know. He's thinking hard, man.
Well, yeah, I want to give you a good answer.
Yeah, no.
I felt like your music was sort of like Irish folk meets Owl City.
How
I
do
don't know
you-
if that's, is that a compliment or is that...
How do you feel
I don't
about
know.
it?
How do you feel about
I'll have it.
You'll take it.
I'll
take
add
anything, man.
I'll add that to the bio, sure. Irish meets Owl City.
Can I just say your bio that you sent into us is absolutely fantastic. I mean,
Haven't read it. I don't.
yeah, whatever you sent over anyway was thoroughly enjoyable.
confusing.
Did you read it, Mark?
Yeah, I read it.
Oh, it was magical.
Yeah. No, it's amazing how many comments I got for that.
Right?
Like I thought people would be a bit confused, but the level to which people would message me about it just completely threw me. Of just like completely not getting that it may have been a little bit of a joke.
A joke.
if I may break that illusion.
If I didn't know
as well.
you, like, I don't know. The fact I read it and I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
I would have been
either.
more surprised if you just actually did a normal bio.
I get that a lot.
But maybe, I mean, it got people talking, man. Like, maybe that's the new approach.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it to
Fake
us,
bios.
James? Oh, do you want me to read it?
Yep, that's it.
That's the one. Just zoom out a little bit. I can't quite.
No, Brad, you're not allowed to look at the TV.
Oh, I'm not allowed. Yeah, I've got told off before.
I'll read it out for
Yeah,
you.
go on, James. You read it.
A monumental innovator, icon, and maverick. Vocalist, keyboard, and piano player James Davis, has helped define
Beyond you
the
like a
course of
puma.
popular music culture in the 21st century, bridging the gap between bebop, synth pop, folk, and fusion. Throughout his now 14-year career, Davis
That was 10, yeah.
Wow.
has played the keys in a lyrical, introspective style, often employing his voice to make the sound more personal and intimate. It was a style that, along with his brooding stage persona, earned him the nickname Prince of Darkness.
Did anyone Google Prince of Darkness?
Well, I always thought Ozzy Osbourne
Yeah.
was the real Prince of Darkness.
So are
But-
you taking his claim then, James?
No, I was taking Miles Davis's claim.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's pretty much word for word copied of Miles Davis on Spotify. But I feel like it's,
It works.
like
Yeah.
you know,
If it works,
it works, man.
as you said, anyone that knows me knows that doing that probably describes more about me than actually writing my own
Exactly. Yeah.
pile of dribble.
Yeah.
This lyrical dribbling presence of brooding satisfactory.
It's dark good looks.
Dashing. That was great, man. I really enjoyed it. It made me giggle.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's all I aim to do.
So, right. So this is your debut. Your debut, man.
Big break.
So much exposure going on here, mate. So, have you got any plans at all in terms of like anything you're gonna do this year?
Well, I really enjoyed it, so
okay,
I
that's
figured
good.
I might do more.
Oh, right. No way.
That
really?
won't be the end, I think.
Okay, cool.
I'll definitely try harder
Okay.
and see it through. If not, I'm just happy to write songs, and if people want to listen to them, then
Yeah.
I will gladly make it easy to listen to them because I
Nice.
really like doing it.
Yeah, man. Is it? Have you like co-written or like had anyone else's input on this stuff?
Well, I send it around just like help. If I've kind of written, if I've entered a blind spot, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the musicians I play with, I'd send it to them. Then I've got a few non-musical friends whose input are actually more important. Muggles, I call them. Much to their distaste. And they kind of just like, that was weird, don't do that. And I'm just like, that's brilliant. Yeah. But apart from that, mainly just so when it comes from the point of kind of a therapeutic thing for me to do, I don't really mind so much the songwriting aspect of it. I just kind of want to get shit from here away, sort of.
Yeah.
Is it always
Does that
on the
make sense?
keyboard as well?
No. I wrote majority of it on piano. Some of it I wrote too much on piano. And I don't really know how to say it without sounding sort of like I can never word it without it sounding arrogant, but I'm sort of too good at piano, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not meaning like I'm a
Yeah.
like an
I know
absolute
what you mean.
icon in playing piano. I just know that I'm quite good, but like I'm not like the best in any sort of sense. But the fact that I'm good enough to kind of have too many patterns that I fall into, so that I can very quickly just blank out or put too much effort into it. So I've pretty much just written a piano part. So I don't really like writing on piano. So that's why I kind of started learning guitar, because I can't play guitar at all, really. So I don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
So therefore I'm only using my ears to sort of just see if it sounds good rather than just like
Do you find it they actually like, because I've had the exact opposite thing of that, like playing piano over lockdown, but it's probably helped my guitar playing because it actually like you get so bogged down in learning the instrument as an instrument, like what's like the roadmap of it, whatever. But going on to a new instrument and you don't have anything like that, then you're just following the sound, aren't you? So do you find like going back to piano is a little bit fresher once you've been playing guitar?
Yeah, it was like if you go on holiday when you're younger and you've been like playing loads of your instrument, and then you come back, it's like a 3-week holiday or something.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you just kind of like sit down and play a tune, like whoa,
All right.
oh my goodness, I'm good.
Yeah. Look like a dude.
Yeah, just like,
Fucking awesome.
"Whoa, look at me go." Yeah, so I've had that, but more of an adult version of that.
Yeah.
Where you kind of sit down and then you're just employing your ears more than your hands,
Yeah.
which I like. Which is what I didn't play piano for about 3 months, from November, December, and January,
Right.
and because I was in Ireland, and then I came back and then just sat down in my piano living room, and that was the first time I really had properly played it, and it was great.
Yeah.
Not much else to say.
Yeah.
Great.
It's just awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's I think it's super important to have that space, especially when you spend so much like a lot of your time on one thing. You can just like fucking you just lose the magic.
It's weird when that same thing you say, like when you can play so many things. It's like, well, now I don't know what to play. Like, where am I going to go from here?
Well, another good thing that I like just dicking around on loads of different instruments, mainly because I've just come into possession of loads of silly instruments. I feel like I'm quite similar to my granda in that sense, that I sort of just would buy things because I want it, and I want it. Like I have a weak ambition to learn the harmonium, then I buy a harmonium within a week, just like, well, that was a weird idea. I have that now, and I don't play it for 3 months. But that's a rare one, because it's one of my favorite instruments I own. But like every time I go visit my grandparents, my granda's just showing me the shit he's collected. And he's just like, I've got this piano accordion. If I could never get anything out of it, if you want it.
So did you what? So your granddad, does he buy like instruments? What sort of shit is he buying?
I think he's a really good pianist. He was just never taught piano. He could just do it. It's one of them mystical beings that I don't think I'll ever understand. I think if he had piano lessons, he would be like a very, very good musician.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, you can just listen to a song and play it. So he then just bought loads of instruments, like an auto harp, which is now in my possession.
What's an auto?
It's like a little harp. It sits here. It's like little square. I'm just going to paint a picture for you. And it kind of curves up like that. It's got strings, all chromatic, and then it's got buttons that refer to different chords. You just play them and strum it, and it just strums the chord. And then you can like pluck down the chord like that and play.
Can we pull up an auto harp? I'd like to have a.
Very, very important stuff.
These two are busy eating, apparently. Too busy to entertain us.
Did you get a McDonald's?
No, they got some sort of. They got pizza or something.
Oh.
How's pizza?
How's pizza?
Shout out to How's Pizza. Great pizza.
Great pizza.
Great pizza. So in your live performance, you were. I don't know what they're called, James. So you had the blue
Bloopy.
Bloopy.
Like bloopy bloop, yeah.
And that's like a sampler, is it?
It's how in depth do you want me to go?
Right.
All the way.
Make it go. I mean, because some people at home don't know. So go like layman's terms, like what kind of what it is and what it does.
She bleeps and she bloops. It's basically a computer, like a little computer that people around the world have developed patches for, so you can make it into like a little sequencer that goes doo 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 doo, or something more interesting, or you can make it into a drum machine, or you can just have it as a synth or a sampler. So I sampled all of these weird instruments that I've collected, like an ocarina.
Right.
I think it was an ocarina that I was using, and you can just turn it into a keyboard pretty much, and then do anything with it. But you can sort of, if you want to be all intricate, you can plug it into a monitor with a keyboard and a mouse and make your own patches.
Right.
But I haven't delved into that world yet. I just need another pandemic, and then I'll spend that year, and then I'll learn how to code. Yeah.
And then you had your little tape recorder.
I did have like a set player.
Yeah. How have you been using that in terms of? Have you been using that whilst you've been recording the actual stuff as well?
Yeah. I record most of my demos on that now because I just really, really like the sound of it. Yeah, the 2 videos I uploaded to Instagram, I just recorded guitar and singing just on the cassette player and did nothing else to it, just because I just think it's perfect. I absolutely love the sound of it.
Yeah.
But it's really Nice.
Subtle,
Very, very
subtle.
clear.
Go on.
I've lost my train of thought
Oh,
now.
sorry.
It's fine. Oh no, I remember. I really like recording instruments with them. Then I can turn that into a keyboard as well.
Right.
Turning everything into
nice.
keyboards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's been a lot of late nights.
That's
Late,
cool, man.
sad, lonely nights.
But also kind of awesome at the
Yeah,
same time.
man.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like you bought that little orange guitar amp.
It's
speaker.
more of a Wii. Isn't it?
It's a collective.
It's the
thing.
houses. Do you know the little
I
like,
thought you
3
meant
watt?
more like a Nintendo Wii.
No. I mean, another pandemic.
Who
Who
knows?
knows what happened?
Who knows
What a
happened.
waste.
Yeah,
Go outside.
I know. No, we plugged this little orange amp into the keyboard upstairs and just had a blast, didn't we? Just like
So much fun.
created, yeah. I don't know if they ever tried it. Maybe for the next single.
Hmm.
But, yeah, just like crank that son of a bitch right up to like 11.
Mm.
And yeah, put it on like the worst string patch. Go
Sounds horrible.
No, it's
No,
great.
Honestly, it sounds fucking wild,
Yeah,
man.
you just get like crazy
cool.
feedback. It sounds like a really weird, like early electric guitar or something. Do you know? But yeah,
Yeah, no, that will very much interest me, I think.
yeah, it would.
Um,
It would.
As for anyone else watching, I don't think that will interest them even slightly.
No,
No. But we
Music.
can go further if you want. It's not about them, it's about me.
Matt,
Exactly, man.
mm-hmm.
I've just got a little request for you,
Okay.
if you would allow me.
Mm-hmm.
Would you just take your jumper off?
I was
please?
about
No.
to ask.
No.
Why would I
What?
do that?
Don't.
Well, I mean, you just look really hot. I just think
Well, I
maybe
think
you should.
Settle a
I think
bet
you should
for
take
us.
that jumper off. What
Well,
do
if
the
I'm gonna
audience
take the jump,
think?
what are you gonna do for me? If I
Um,
take this jump?
I'll tell you what. If next time you need a beer, I'll go up and grab you a little
Okay.
beer.
Okay, that seems pretty.
All right.
I don't know why.
I'm gonna
I don't know why
I'm
George-
just gonna go onto James's face. Just for
Right,
now,
okay.
Just for like a grand reveal,
I'm,
you know.
I'm checking my
Instagram.
messages. One sec. Yeah, sorry. It's just
What are you
vibrating.
checking on your phone?
I was getting loads of
It's a
messages.
podcast.
Yeah.
Reviews are in.
So what's the problem with what Matt's wearing right now? I don't really understand.
Hang on. Should we wait for? Should we?
Well,
Are we?
I don't know.
I mean-
I don't see what the problem.
there's only one other person at this table with merch on who's not revealing right now.
We're not going to get James to get his bloody vest
The
out.
It's very see-through.
Is it
I can give you.
underneath the t-shirt
I can
as
give
well?
you. The important bit is at the. It's underneath the t-shirt as
Oh,
well. Yeah.
Maybe later. We'll get
Yeah,
a little bit
second
more
half.
loosey. This wasn't planned, by the way.
No.
I just walked upstairs and lo and behold. fucking,
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
I can't, to be honest, I'm a bit shocked that this is now going to be like on the internet with with this.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't care. Fuck it. I love Michael Bolton. And Matt likes him as well. So
Why?
why?
Yes.
I don't know, James. Do you know?
Well, we went to Blackpool to watch him.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a sentence. Fucking hell. Right.
I feel like we talked about it before, so I'll keep it brief.
Sure.
We went to Blackpool to watch him, me, Matt, and Freddie,
Alex.
and Alex as well. Sorry, and most of the audience. We were the youngest people there by like 30 years, by easily. Just a sea of like 40 to 50-year-old women, and then four of us guys, and then we got really pissed, and we bought the t-shirts. We had a
Mhm.
great time.
And then you wore them again the day, so you could tell the story again.
Yes.
Exactly, it's a talking piece.
Sure,
James.
sure.
Man, if you were there,
Sure.
you would have done the same
You would
thing.
have loved it, man.
Okay.
I think it was an experience, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I would say is Michael Bolton the guilty pleasure, but I'm thinking. No, you look offended there.
No, well, it is, but I'm not really guilty about it.
Okay.
So I guess it's just a pleasure. It's
Yeah,
just
never
a,
be guilty about what you like.
It's a pleasure and a privilege. Let me tell you,
Good answer.
Michael Bolton is the one. Have you got a guilty pleasure, James?
You must.
My life's riddled with guilt. A guilty pleasure. That's a good question. I feel like yes, definitely.
But
But
I can't think of it right now.
I'll leave it with me. I don't
Yeah,
want to
no,
sit in
that's
silence.
that's fine.
It'll come to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be as bad as Michael Bolton, to be honest.
No. No, but I did see Dragon Force live.
Did
Oh,
you?
no.
Yes.
What was that like? I'm sure that was.
Well,
Mm.
it's a good it's not a good story. It's a story though.
Go on.
It was in high school.
Mm.
And my friend Connor, he he was with his girlfriend Beth, I think. Beth at the time, and they broke up.
Right.
And we were all just like, oh god, that's a shame. And Connor was just like, oh James, I had these 2 tickets to Dragon Force that I think Beth was going to go with me. I don't know if you want to go. Now it's just like, yeah, that would be great. So but I was just like, yeah, no, I'll go as a mate. It'll be fun. There's a couple of bands that should be fine. And it was in the Mandela Hall in Belfast, which is now gone, sadly. It was a really good venue. It's like capacity of like 200 people.
Okay.
I've seen some great gigs there, and this is not one of them. I had a lovely night though, Connor. He's not watching. But we're so we went to this gig, and there was 2 support bands. One was called The Defiled,
Nice.
not to be mixed up with Defiled, who are kind of known. The Defiled were shit. They just came out wearing their Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Right.
things and made this noise for a while, which made my chest do that a lot.
Yeah, nice.
They got booed off. And then another band called Ailstorm. Yeah, Ailstorm.
yeah.
Not to be mixed up with Hailstorm. Oh no,
Oh, really?
also not to be mixed up with Ailstorm. It's
Wait,
Ailstorm,
no.
not that one.
Oh, jeez.
How's it spelled?
I don't care.
I don't.
They had not one, but they had 2 guitar players. They were dressed as pirates.
Okay. Right.
They played songs about badgers, and badgers and masturbating, I think, was the 2 primary themes of this band.
Sounds like a wild gig.
Yeah, the guitarist looked like Gimli, which I loved.
Awesome. Nice.
That I do remember.
Yeah.
They didn't get booed off, so fair play to them. Then Dragon Force came on, and it was long. They did. It's not the original lineup. Not that I care. And I was having a lovely night with Connor.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Yeah,
will.
yes, it was nice. The drummer was doing double kicks, but he was doing the cheating version. I don't know
What's
what the
the
cheating
The
version
trigger,
was.
right?
Yeah, trigger.
Yeah.
So it was just a very consistent.
Mm.
Once again, going through my lungs, I can still feel it to this day. And they played for, I think they're still playing. That's how long it was. Fucking weeks. I don't even think they played through the Fire and Flames.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, I don't think they even
The
played.
reason
I
you were
just,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
the only
reason anyone's
snapshot in my memory of this gig is the guitarist just at the front, just like doing all that, whipping the guitar around his shoulders, doing all these tricks, like spinning it around. It's quite impressive, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And then we called it, and I was just like, bedtime, I think. And then the next week, Beth got back together with Connor.
Oh, right.
So you went through that for nothing.
And
But-
I still haven't forgiven her.
Well, you got a story out of it, mate.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
it could be worse.
What
Yeah.
did Connor think of it?
No, I don't know. Probably, I think he liked it. Yeah, he likes his metal. Whether or not he still likes Dragon Force, I don't know.
Are you? Do you like metal? Is that your scene?
I used to really like metal in high school.
What kind of bands are we talking? Go on. There's some guilty pleasures.
Be honest.
I own about 6 Dream Theater CDs.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I can see that. Yeah.
I just need to say, just as a disclaimer, I think at the minute Dream Theater are diabolical. I
Okay.
don't like anything about them,
Okay.
Um,
okay.
and I don't honestly understand why I did like it. I think I just was like, oh, fast, and just like, oh my god, a keyboard player, whoa, wicked.
Wow.
And he had his wee beard and everything. I think I still follow the keyboard player Jordan Rudez on Instagram.
He is. Well, I don't want to say he's good. He's like insane.
He's fast.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's really
Your eyes
fast.
really lit up there.
Yeah,
Boy, is he
Ooh.
fast. Yeah.
yeah. But I don't care.
yeah. Again. Jesus.
So yeah, I own 6 of their albums. One of the albums I can recite every lyric of it. I won't.
Okay, don't. Don't.
Until the second half.
Yeah.
Just a couple more of these. We'll whap out the port, have some cheese, and I'll recite the
second half is a Dream Theater.
Then I'll recite the Count of Tuscany to you by Dream Theater. That'll be fun. All 18 minutes of it. I liked Stone Sour.
Yeah, come on, man.
Bother was a tune.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Yeah. Buggers, man.
Okay. Perfect Circle. I do think they're good. That's the guy from Tool,
Right.
but the singer. He's in a different band called Perfect Circle. They had 2 good albums and a third shite one.
Fair. Nice.
Tool are good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to listen to Tool now, but I accept they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to a bit of Meshuggah,
Yes.
and Mastodon.
Nice.
What
So these
about it?
bands, if a tune came on now, would you there'd still be a part of you that enjoyed it, or is it just like no? What
I'd
the
leave
fuck
the
was it?
room probably.
Seriously?
Which band?
Well, okay. Well, Dream Theater.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think I could tolerate Dream Theater. No, I
So there's
couldn't
still
do
a
it.
little bit.
Too
of
much PTSD, I think.
Okay. So, are you from like a musical family then? I mean, obviously, it sounds like your granddad's a bit musical.
I'm the only one that kind of followed through with music. My sister plays guitar and she plays flute. She loves the flute.
Nice.
And my brother was a really good drummer. My brother hasn't played drums in years. I'd love him to play drums. But there's just not really any place he can do that because drums.
Yeah.
But he was really good. My parents aren't musical, despite what they may say. And no grandparents were. I think my great granny on my mother's side, as in my granddad's mum, was similar to my granddad, that she could kind of just twiddle away at things. Harmonica mainly.
Right.
I do have vivid memories of her just being like, "It's easy." It's not the sound of a harmonica, but you know what I mean. But no, she would just rip a wee scale on the harmonica and then give it to us as presents. Actually, no, I don't think she ever gave us no, she did give us a harmonica for a present once. She would mainly just shower my sister with loads of jewellery as a present.
Right.
And then just kind of look at me and my brother and sigh, and then go into the kitchen and just come back with like piping from the sink and just be like, "You could probably put fairy liquid in this and blow bubbles or something." Give it to us. It's just like, cool. Until next time.
I had hours of fun with that, mate. Hours of fun. So you're not, because I know like some Irish families are like, everyone has to be able to like do a bit, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if you're one.
Is this a stereotype?
Maybe I am, but I know like a lot of
It's Boy
Irish
Vance's thing, isn't it?
families that I've met have done that, but I don't know if that's specific to more different.
I don't. I
places
feel like
or-
I think my family have a little bit. I don't know if they feel it as much as I do, but there's a bit of imposter syndrome with them. Ireland, that we're not really very Irish. My mum's from Durham.
Right, okay.
My dad's from Carryduff, which is Irish, but there's not a lot of kind of Irish heritage to be passed on, really, apart from just the banter.
The great crack. So did you get into music like? Well, did you just like pick it up like from doing it at school, or did you have someone that pushed you to do it? Or?
I saw my friend Garth in primary school play piano, and I was just like, I want to do that. So I had a couple of lessons. It was just more than a couple. I did some lessons. I remember my first lesson where it was like a family friend. The sister of my piano teacher taught my sister flute, and then Hannah, my piano teacher, taught me piano, but she was just trying to pay her way through uni by giving piano lessons. She gave me a few lessons, and I was a sarcastic prick, even from the age of 6. Or 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10. I don't know when the sarcasm developed. She taught me for a bit, and then I was just like, "Oh, it's really dull. This, I hate it. I wanna do something cool." So I picked up saxophone in high school, and I just kind of ditched piano for a bit. Like I did like grade 2 piano. I was just like, "Oh, it's so hard," and then moved on to saxophone and just was doing jazz with my saxophone teacher, who was to this day the coolest man I've ever met, Mr. Makatasny.
Nice.
Mr. Makatasny.
Wow, what a name!
Jerry Makatasny.
Nice.
He would he was a jazz cat if ever I saw one. Yeah. So he got me into jazz, and it was kind of through that I sat down and I would love this to end with so I got into jazz piano, but it doesn't. It goes a slightly different route where I heard Ludovico Einaudi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on, who's this?
Yeah. He describes himself as minimalist. It's kind of like, I can only describe him as a really shit Oliver Arnolds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
He just writes like the most basic, pretty piano music. He has a few famous ones, but it's not good. It's just like kind of 4 chords. But the one thing I will credit to him is it's really good to get into piano. When I did teach piano, I did try and get some students to learn his stuff because it was kind of a nice gateway.
Okay.
I stopped doing that because it meant I had to listen to beginner pianists try and play Ludovico Einaudi, who's, when played correctly, I don't want to hear it. So hearing a child of the age of 5 play it is not in my head. So I got into him and got quite good at piano. So then I picked up piano again. I was still kind of getting piano lessons from Hannah at this point, I think, but just was not interested. But then I did that, and that kind of moved into me wanting to learn my favorite songs on piano, and I have like a piano rendition of Stairway to Heaven ingrained in my head. I've got a Pirates of the Caribbean medley because I really like films. Not that that's the cornerstone of films, but
as we know very well.
No, a lot. I played Jurassic Park. That is the cornerstone of films. That is the best film ever made. Let's not get on Jurassic Park. I could literally talk for 3 hours about just facts about Jurassic Park.
What right? I think we'll have to go on to this just for.
All right,
we
could ditch my past.
Let's ditch it. Let's go on to it, man. I mean, let's see what. So you got onto the piano.
Sure.
You got back into it, and then was that kind of the clear?
And I went back to Hannah, and she was like, "I think you do good for me to teach you." So I went back to school and got a teacher there. And he taught me. I can't remember what your question was. Am I just talking?
I mean, you are just talking.
Yeah, I think I am. Just sort of.
I was asking you just about like how you got into music, because obviously your family weren't directed. But yeah,
sure.
you've aligned that. Now let's get back to the real topic question: Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park question mark.
So when did you first see Jurassic Park?
Young.
I
don't, once again, Matt, I don't have the date bookmarked. My initial thoughts was dinosaurs. Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
I would watch it in E4.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch it in that. Then when it finished, I'd be like, cool. Go on to the TV guide, see E4+1, be like, cool. Instant click. Rewatch Jurassic Park.
And why do you love it so much?
Have you seen it?
Well, obviously it's amazing, man. We all know that, but
what is it
like
specifically
the practical effects, the breathtaking storyline, Jeff Goldblum for God's sake.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I cannot flaw that film apart from scientifically, but I'm not that guy.
No,
they're dinosaurs being resurrected, for goodness sake. It's a great film. But it was made in like '89.
It looks great, man.
And it still looks good.
Yeah.
And it's still better than Jurassic World. And that's
I was going to ask you. Yeah.
I do have a Jurassic World T-shirt.
Do you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And a Jurassic Park T-shirt.
There's two new Jurassic Worlds, isn't it? Am I right in thinking that?
There's 2 Jurassic Worlds, yeah. There's the one that I liked. It was fueled in nostalgia purely, where I was just like, I felt like a kid again in the cinema. And Chris Pratt's a very attractive man to look at.
Gorgeous,
blue shirt and everything.
Fucking hell.
Stop. Then the second one was dinosaur politics. Who the fuck wants to see that? We want to see the same formula of they try to do a park and the dinosaurs fuck shit up and eat all. Am I allowed to swear on this, by the way?
All the time. Go for it. It's a bit late now,
there's been loads of it.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs fuck shit up. I want to see them eat the people. And
Yeah.
then the people always get away, which is fine. But I think we always root for the dinosaurs.
Deep down. Man. So don't get me wrong, Jurassic Park is a great film, but it didn't, it's only because we're different people, and there's nothing wrong with being different people. Why were you interested in dinosaurs as a kid or something? It's a great film. Although James is really staring me down
know.
here. It's a great film. Okay.
Thank God for this.
I just like it's not my personal favorite. I just wonder, is there a particular thing that is like drawing you towards it? Because like, do you know what I mean, Matt? I mean, am I just on my own here? Am I just on my own?
I would
Well,
struggle to say it's the greatest film ever made. I really would.
it was a comment, wasn't it? Like, it was quite a thing to say.
It's powerful.
Yeah. Well, put it this way: what's your favorite film?
Off the top of my head, like it's like
Don't say Avatar.
I've never seen Avatar, so I can't say that. Wayne's World. I love Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's
Okay,
World
good.
1 and
That's a
Wayne's
very
World
good
2.
example. Why do you like Wayne's World so much?
I love the simplistic comedic style. Like it's just like anyone can get it. Mike Myers is a fucking genius. I think it's just puns all the way through. It's just like every single sentence is like leading towards a joke. Do you know what I mean? It's just like really well written. I don't know, and then it's got a bit of a nostalgia, like kind of early, late 80s, 90s kind of vibe. I don't know.
When did
I
you
love
first see it?
Ooh, like in my teens, like when I was like 13, 14, and then I've watched it so many times.
Sure. So is it like one of those films you could just watch?
I've got it on DVD, both
Yeah,
of them
yeah.
on DVD upstairs.
So cool. Well, I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, Jurassic Park is just. It's oh my god, I'm quite emotional here. I do. Excuse myself. There's a lot of nostalgia riding in Jurassic Park with me, so
Okay.
it's a film I could watch endlessly on repeat, and every single time I see it, it's like the first time I've ever seen it when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
Just like this mystical idea that I could go to a park about dinosaurs, and
Yeah.
just it's just a great fit. It's pretty much a childhood film,
Right.
and there's not many childhood films that kind of make it into your adulthood and still remain to have the same effect.
That's true, actually.
And then once
that
you
is
strip
true.
away the personal aspect of it, it's still just a great film. It's such a bullet, and I've read the book, and the book is great as well. It's different, but it's also good.
Okay.
And just the story is great.
Okay.
And the author was a scientist as well, so like he has little formulas like to kind of help
Back
guide,
it up.
back it up. Society. Stop.
Really pushing it. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Matt, have you got a film like that?
Like a nostalgia film.
Just like a go, yeah,
I-
like you can hammer it any old day long. You
So
know?
for my sense of humor, you know when you're younger and you start off like, I don't know, when you're really young, it's like Simpsons and shit's funny, but then you get like the sarcasm thing, which I imagine you got a lot younger than most people, James. You know, that's why I know that.
I don't know how I should.
No, it's a compliment. I mean, like the Naked Gun films and Aeroplane were like that. But that was when I realized there's this whole new world of humor ahead of me. Because my dad showed me those when I was like 10 or something, and I was already like, that's pretty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that for comedy, like Monty Python, Life of Brian as well, same kind of thing. Just like noticing, like, oh, like there's this whole dark place you can take humor.
Yeah.
Recently, the film Her is just beautiful. We've talked about that a lot, though. That's just an
It is
awesome
good,
film.
though.
That's probably my
Joaquin
favorite
Phoenix.
film I've
Yeah.
seen to date. Yeah,
Cool. That was very different to the other list
yeah,
of films you've
yeah,
just
yeah,
named.
yeah. This is variety, man. It's not all about
Blimey.
dinosaurs.
Throwing them up. Man. That's cool. Doesn't have to be about dinosaurs. James.
Her was a film that kept being recommended to me, and I was like, oh, I know I'll love it, but it's never the thing I wanted to see. And then I did eventually watch it after maybe like years of being recommended it, and eventually I was just like, fucking fine. And I watched it, and I was like, yes, that was brilliant.
Yes, great.
You win.
Yeah.
Yeah, win.
Yeah.
You
man.
win, you queen.
There is something to be said about all those like Naked Gun and all that sort of thing, because like a lot of American comedy is, I don't find it funny. Do you know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
think that's like a slice of American comedy gold, that era of stuff where it's just like
Yeah.
morto bene
Leslie
allora.
Nielsen, guy's a genius, isn't he? Have you seen those films?
Which ones?
The Naked Gun films?
I've seen the
Just the
Naked
first
Gun,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. I think they're all pretty good, which is rare for a thing like that.
I remember watching The Naked Gun when I was a little adolescent, with my immature humour, and I still found it too immature to enjoy. But it's weird because those type of films, I think you do appreciate the older you get. Just
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
That's
Yeah.
stupid.
yeah, exactly.
Oh dear.
That's one where he tries to kick the door down and his foot goes through the door.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all that.
great.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Is that the same bit where he gets his ass kicked as well? Is it, what's it
It's
called?
the same later on. Wait, which
the,
dude?
the actor. He's a golfer dude, isn't he?
Golfer. Oh, jeez.
I'm completely
There's
blanking
O.J.
now.
Simpson's.
Yeah, OJ.
in it, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a golfer.
He's not a golfer.
He's
Why
a
am I
bad
thinking?
man.
Sorry, man. Yeah. But that scene where he gets his ass kicked and
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
thrown
yeah,
off the
yeah,
boat.
yeah.
My
Yeah,
God, I was
yeah.
in stitches at that.
I know. That's like really early on as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's comedy gold, man. It's comedy gold. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go for some music. 'Cause why not?
We've only been talking 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, of course. Let's do that, and then we'll have some music. So we're doing a collaboration with the wonderful Fooditions Daily, who are a Instagram food company. At the moment, we are running. So every time we have a podcast, they're going to be doing a different baked treat recommended by the artist. So James, you recommended Biscoff brownies eventually, didn't you? Which are going to be awesome. So yeah. But there's a little trailer that we did for those guys. So yeah, this week is Biscoff brownies. James, what flavors have we got for next week?
Oh, me.
Yeah, go on,
I got
darling.
worried
I
there,
thought
yeah.
you forgot my code name.
Oh, sorry, Demetrius. Go
Thank
on.
you. Thank you. So next week we have Easter Blondies.
What?
Pause.
Oh,
for
James
effect.
can't see the picture, but yeah, they look
Okay.
awesome. Do you want to
They do look awesome.
do you want to
So they look
describe
like-
what they look like for the audio people that are listening? Although they're probably too late.
I only see eggs.
Yeah, I don't really.
It looks like layers of sugar covered in chocolatey sugar
Mm.
with chocolate covered in sugar on top.
Sold.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, man. So,
looks
James, go on,
awesome.
give us the lowdown, the cuss, all that.
Great, yeah.
Give it to the people.
So you can have them with mini eggs or with mini eggs and a cream egg. Is that meant to be that? Mini eggs and a cream egg.
Well,
that's
what it
overkill.
says. We'll go for it, man.
Sam and Gaz. Whew, you're treating us.
Yeah, I know.
They're
the
fucking
quality.
blinding.
So those are both £1 each.
Okay.
£1 each.
£1 each.
Or an offer for £3.50 for 4 pieces.
Oh,
And that would be
bargain.
2 of each
Bargain.
kind. How to order? You can DM or email at fooditionsdaily or fooditions@gmail.com by Tuesday the 30th of March, midnight. Is everyone okay on studio?
Sorry.
What the fuck says do I not get one?
You will get one.
All right.
Sorry.
Sorry.
George was
Please
making
excuse
us
my
laugh.
premature ejaculation.
Finish the.
Finish. Do you want me to mute you?
Come on, plug, give us that sweet plug.
Collection is on the 31st of March from the M16 8LW area. It's or 50%, 50 pence for deliveries within a 5-mile radius from M16. You have to spend £3 minimum. There are vegan options available. Now, we didn't actually find out from Sam and Gaz last week, but they are running a competition to win free treats for next week.
Oh yeah.
If you post an Instagram story of yourself enjoying Easter, it's not Easter Blondies, it's the Biscoff brownies.
Biscoff brownie. Yeah.
If you post a picture of you eating and enjoying, hopefully enjoying the Biscoff brownies,
Well, James.
tagging at Fooditions Daily, fooditions.daily, and at Rec Rooms, then you could win a free treat for next week.
Cool. I mean, James is doing it right now as we speak, apparently, because he wants a free treat.
So we get a close up.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah. Mm.
All right.
What did you?
Can
What
you
did you
look
think,
into the
man?
camera?
Stunning.
James,
So
give
good,
us
man.
a sexy look into the camera whilst you. Oh, a little wink. Ooh,
Sexy.
Wow.
sexier, baby. Go on.
That is one of the best brownies ever.
Whoa,
yeah. Seriously,
blinding.
It's pretty.
try it. It's pretty
it?
awesome.
It's good.
Yeah, like, it's good.
I will have
I'm
mine.
pretty speechless,
It is
to be
really
honest.
It looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the people at home, I hope you're enjoying this. But yeah, these guys make really, really good food. So if you want to have some of this wonderful stuff for next week's podcast, get on their Instagram, get the orders in. It's going to be lovely. James, where can people find your? Just give me your Instagram or something for where people can find your stuff. Because I know you're not.
To see me get on with my life. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can get what's my Instagram handle?
It's
Is it-
James Davis, isn't it?
It's
Something
just
like
two. James A.
Two-
Davis. James A.
two.
Davis.
right. James Davis.
There might be an A in there.
And okay, you'll find him.
You'll find me.
We've tagged him on the posts anyway. And whilst you're on Instagram, follow us at Rec Rooms so you can keep up to date with all our new guests and all that, and follow us on YouTube because James's live session is going to be on there on Friday. So, oh, and also, we are running this all on a donation basis. So we don't make any fucking money from this. We do it because we love it. Yeah, and it's good fun. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing, James is going to put a little comment in the old YouTube thing, so you can go to a little PayPal thing if you want to give us a little bit of money to help us out. That'd be really, really appreciated. But really, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Go on, Mum.
Go on, James's mum.
Please.
Yeah, shout out to the mums. Right, we're going to have some music from our lovely guest today. James, I really hope you enjoy it. This is a debut performance, I guess, isn't it? Right?
Yep.
James is ecstatic, of course. Anything you want to tell people before they watch it? Like,
Tread lightly.
tread lightly. You heard it here first. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes. I really hope you enjoy James's music. We're going to be back. We're probably going to be talking some more shit. We've got some cheese that we're going to crack into. I hope, James.
We do indeed.
Yes. So enjoy James's music, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Hi, I'm James Davis, and the first song I'm going to play is called The Boy Who Played with Trains. There's no one here. Look good on your own. I dare you to. I've seen you blend with that nice coat. Outdoor heating, poison your lungs. Wait till your glass is full to take a leap that I've never seen. There's no one close to hear you. They all fade away. I'll tell all the family too, but they don't seem afraid. Still a boy who plays with trains. Laughing in our own special way, you take to the sky and never come down, staring ahead as you whine away. Break this one too, like biting your hand. Remember a day in your green dusty room. Came across a page at the end of a book, covered with numbers like I'd seen in films. We all thought you might be mine. Stairs creak as I watch my ceiling. You really try your luck. I could see the family shoulders turning to a point. Still a boy who plays with trains. I tried talking for my sorrows. Here's a brand new wall. Still I see their point of view. I first have to accept myself. Still a boy who plays with trains. But we hope that you're alright. Yeah, that wasn't bad, was it? Yeah. Cool. Usually at this point, I think someone would tune a guitar or something to avoid talking, but I can't do that. This thing is permanently out of tune unless you want to watch me tune it for 2 weeks.
Don't think we've got enough footage.
This next song is called. Have I named it? I haven't. It's called Dictionary Corner. Here you go. Get of black and gold in a street that's filled with grey. It welcomed me like the forest by my first house. If I came with teeth in hand to ruin the day, and know that you'd be so polite, so honest and weird. I tired my body just like you said. All of your commandments were gold to trust. There were a few exceptions that belittled you to dust. Faulty rules put to the side, I love the shit you talk. A room full of the blind, but it's not my place to say. I hope to watch your back and maybe explain the moon. It's just that old gut feeling. The devil is almost the term, overflowing with himself. Not that I blame him at all. Come sit here with me, and I'll show you the color gray. Grab hold of the traffic, pretend that we painted the Clydes. Your ordinary look peeks through, and it never lands on my room. I took this moth-eaten coat around the time Mr. Hughes died, until you find the reason I never lied. Old-fashioned is almost the term. I think that I'm extinct. Thank you.
All right, yeah.
Oh. Lyrics. I wrote so many. So much to remember. Right. So, I have lots of clothes. It's not merch or anything, I just have too many clothes if anyone wants any for free. That's one of the anecdotes I was talking about that I prepared earlier. Yeah. It's a little anecdote why I figure out how to use this keyboard. I got taught that you have to not try your synth patches between each songs because it ruins some sort of illusion, but anyone that's used a keyboard before knows that that's foolish because they don't fucking work. I think we're cooking.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, man.
Just so you know, I'm not going to cut that.
That's fine. It's fine. It's the anecdotes I prepared. Yeah, you can't cut it. Yeah. I call it shit, you call it noise. The blackened hills we have mapped. Tell it as it is, wise man. We've almost finished the day's work. Still wonder why you touched my arm. In a tin can waiting room where we met. I had hoped to sail above the countless clowns that tried before me. I expected to cry, watching my aunt search for work. So much for words, silence liars think is loud. Ashamed of myself, he knows I'll stumble through the park. Oh boy, oh joy, I'm down again. At least it means that I'll get thinner. No one even seems to care about love as much as I do. Walking with creative eyes, laughing at my flailing arms. Head within your hands, I felt quite sad and proud to fascinate you. I expected to cry as I opened up the door. Felt my heart break, now you'll tell me I should breathe. Ashamed of myself, I know I'll stumble through the park. Tucked in the earth, observing the way you would relearn all my words. Can't find any reason I keep breaking all the boats, and I'm sick of it all, so sick of it all. I'm sick of it all. Thank you.
Yeah. Woo! Woo! Alright, so James, where can people find your things online?
Well, Brad, they cannot find my things online. But that song was called "Oh Boy, Oh Joy," and I recorded it with someone. His name escapes my mind, but he was here a few weeks ago. Writes pretty all right music actually. But yeah, we recorded that, and it sounds really good. So I'll probably release that. In fact, I definitely will release that. You know what? Definitely. That will be online at some point. Probably March. Later this year? Fuck it. Why not? Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Woo! Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to episode 14 of the Kicking Back podcast. You've just heard some music from the wonderful James Davis. James?
Yeah.
He's just cracking open a beer, man. Did you enjoy playing in our tiny little studio space?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time.
That was
really
good,
nice.
man. So that was your debut performance.
I guess so.
Yeah? Yeah.
Well, for in front of people, yeah.
So is that the first time you've had to interpret it into a live setup then, or is that kind of like...
Yeah, that's not, I wouldn't ever describe that as my standard setup.
No, I mean, I liked what you pulled together for it. It was interesting.
Yeah, it worked out well. I had a big faffy month trying to settle on one instrument to play, but just did it. the one that I kind of landed on was to bring in a harmonium and the two synths and a guitar, but I was just thinking, per James, if that was the case. So I sacked off the guitar and kept the complicated bits.
Yeah, no, fair enough, man. It sounded great. It was a good...
Yeah.
I like that mix of acoustic instrument
Sure.
kind of... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's I don't get a lot of opportunity to play it because the harmonium is furiously out of tune, so it cannot be played with other people. It's like a well, it doesn't matter the specifics, but it's all the fuck out. But you can tune synths to it, so yeah. So did that.
Yeah, no, it sounded really cool, man. How, right, in terms of, because you've already recorded the last tune, haven't you? Oh Boy, Oh Joy, is that right?
Yep. With
some guy, I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
How different does the recorded track sound to that? I obviously, because I have no sort of reference of what the recorded stuff sounds like.
Sure. Well, has Nathan not sent you that demo as well?
No, he didn't. No.
The only difference is that it doesn't have harmonium.
Okay.
That was to replace the piano to play. It's got loads of synths, and it's got the little bass synth in as well, but it also has real upright bass as well, just a little bit. But it's still quite more electronic than.
Who did the
acoustic.
upright?
It was Mr. Chris Rabbits.
Ah, lovely.
My favourite floppy fucker.
He's great, man. He's a great bass player. Anyone need a bass player? Get Chris Rabbits, man. He's your man. He's your man.
Saves the bass player, Brad.
I'm not a bass player, man. Oh no, I wouldn't consider myself to be a bass player anymore. Well, I have played bass, but it's
You've
not
dabbled.
I've dabbled.
You have a degree.
I've got a degree in it, but yeah, there's plenty of other awesome people that are more than capable to do the job. So
Chris Rabbits.
like Chris Rabbits.
I was going to ask about what the tunes are about, tunes that you performed. Or would you not want to go into this?
I can go vaguely into it, sure.
Yeah, go on.
No, I don't want to give too much away. I just write them at the different points of when I need to. It's just, as I said, it's a therapeutic output. So if there's too many things in my head that are overwhelming, then some of them make up a theme. Then I write a song on that, and then wait till the next bad day. The last one is about counselling.
Okay.
That's the only one I'll be outright about. I think.
Cool, man. Is that something you've done for a while? Counselling?
No, I've never done counselling.
Oh.
No, I have.
Oh.
I'm being a
Stop
dick.
confusing me, James. Twist and turns.
I had counselling for a good few months.
Right.
It's something I recommend everyone in the world to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone says that, man.
Might be quite a high demand.
Yeah, was that over lockdown as well, like over last year? Or was it before?
Well, I had 2 sessions in person, and then a pandemic hit. So the rest of them were over Microsoft Teams.
Whoa.
But you need a full separate therapy session to get through that.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I was like talking to my parents loads about it and trying to figure it out, and then realizing like basically being like, oh shit, I'm not the guy who like offers advice to everyone but is fine. I'm just the guy that just says that because it's the easy thing to like. Do you know what I mean? Like talking about being like, okay, like I need counseling and like I need to help myself as much as I care about helping other people and actually take that seriously. And that was a really weird thing to admit.
Sure.
And I talked to a couple other guys about it as well. The first thing I've been like, hang on, I'm offering everyone advice and like what they need to do to like, you know, like get on with that life, and they're like, oh shit, like maybe I need some help here. It was a really weird realization. I know a few other people I've talked to have had the same kind of thing.
Sure.
And it kind of took like over this last year, like I couldn't really be distracted with too many other things. Like before that, life was moving pretty hectically anyway. Yeah, I don't know whether you've had a similar thing. Like extra thinking time can be awesome, and it can also be like oh shit, there's some stuff I need to address here.
Sure. I think the pandemic hitting was a pretty
Big one.
important thing for people to realize that they needed just time to think about themselves.
Yeah.
And then they panicked and all started baking instead. Went running.
Became a singer-songwriter.
Became a sad boy with a guitar.
Yeah.
That's true, man. I mean, I think I think there's a lot of people. I don't know whether it's just because there's a lot more people talking about mental health, and like I feel like there's a lot of people that are kind of trying new things and pushing out of their normal headspace and stuff, which I think is cool. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I've definitely massively changed my mindset over the past the past year. And it's because I had space to like break the routine and just sort of sit with your thoughts.
I know. Can you imagine?
Oh, sounds horrible, doesn't it?
I recommend meditation, actually.
Have you tried?
Loads. I did. That was my second batch of therapy. Well, when I say second, I mean fifth, but the second one that I stuck to. Because there was CBT before that. But I did a mindfulness group.
All right.
Which I think I fundamentally hated. Like, I don't mean that as like a jokey remark. I just mean like, but I think it was quite important just how much I hated it, because it was with other people. You kind of start doing that thing where you're kind of weighing up your problems that you may have and thinking just like, Christ, that mine aren't anything compared to these people.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really an in-depth one, but like there would be some person come on one day and she's just like, hey, sorry for being late. Like I had to get my kid to kindergarten. It was his first day of school, and he's got severe autism, so he had a bit of a fit. Yeah, and it sort of triggered my PTSD. But anyway, I'm here. And I was just like,
oh no,
I feel a bit sad today.
Yeah.
But it was very important to realize like the whole comparison thing that you may make to other people in every vein of life. And I think social media has been pretty piss poor for that. Where you're just like comparing yourself to things people may have done.
Man, we could do it right now if we wanted.
Yeah, I can make myself look like the most productive man in the world at the minute, but in reality I'm eating a phenomenal brownie. Got cheese next to me and I've got a beer, and I'm just pretty much talking to mates. I'm not on a business adventure, am I?
No.
But same with the counselling, where your issues are your own. And I'm quite similar to you. I think you kind of hit a bell there in my head, where I like to see myself as the person people can talk to, and I like being the person to give advice. It's a fundamental part of who I am, and I like it. But it's coming to terms with the fact I do like that, and my issues are my own. They're not there to be compared. That's not another layer of the emotional well-being that you need. Of just like my problems are nothing, so why am I feeling them? Because that just makes them worse.
Exactly. Like it's if it's real to you, it's real, isn't it? Like that's because I have that. But I've been trying to like not necessarily meditate, but just sit down and not do anything for a while. Which you can kind of call meditation, you know. There's no technique to it. Just sitting down and be like, right, I don't need to listen to any more music for the next 20 minutes of my life. Like I can do that afterwards. I don't have to play some more crazy scales. Like, I can just like chill out. And then just noticing how much of the thoughts are repetitive. I think that's such an interesting thing, and realizing like they're so repetitive that even when you try not to think about them, they fly back up and they come back up again, and being like, okay, well that is real. Like if it's real to me, it's real. Like whether you compare it to whatever someone else is going through doesn't really matter. It's just like coming to terms with whatever that is, isn't it? And then realizing, I think the biggest realization is that you have that stuff, but it's not like actually who you are. Even if when you're really busy or really stressed, it kind of feels like you are. It's being like, oh, well, I can watch it. I can break out of it. So clearly that's just, and God knows where it comes from, man. I think it just comes from like a life's experience.
I can tell you where it comes from.
All right, go on.
Sorry,
No, I'd love to know.
Please do.
it's what Freud will call the repressed.
Mm.
It's basically unsolved feelings that you may have had when you were a kid that you basically made an unconscious solution to fix these feelings that you may have had when you were a kid. Whether it be like a sense of loss or something that you couldn't solve when you were that young. I have spouted this shit to 4 different people in the past 2 days. I just really love.
Yeah, let's hit that.
I love it too.
We're all about this shit, man. So
but
hit us with it.
let's see if I can get this right. It's like, yeah, you come up with unconscious solutions to these problems when you're a kid, and you kind of push them down, and that's what Freud would call the repressed. And then as you get older, these feelings will return. It could be in a different way, like a different thing could trigger them, but then you just suddenly feel these overwhelming feelings. You don't necessarily know where they came from. And that's what Freud referred to as the return of the repressed. Right. And basically, the older you get, the more these kind of almost childish feelings would come up. I'm more referring it to myself now, like it's a very big subject, but for me, it's like the return of these feelings that I would then look at and be like, why am I feeling that? That's so childish. Like, this is not a thing I need to feel. And then you just kind of keep trying to bat it aside. But then it gets to the point where you can't bat it aside because you just don't have any understanding of it.
Yeah.
And you don't understand what triggered it. So if you can get, the thing that did bring up these feelings, but you don't know why that little minute tiny thing would have triggered these issues.
Yeah.
And that's the point when you would get therapy. And then the idea is supposed to be you talk to the therapist one-on-one and try and trace back to where, like,
that's
not
like
necessarily
CBT,
the initial
isn't it?
thing. Yeah. Well, CBT, but my experience of CBT is they don't ever want to dig in to, that's the two CBT therapists. They always said they're not therapists, but
therapies.
Therapies.
Yeah, they would just more use an active approach of how to deal with the feelings when they come up. But I think I want to know the circuitry. I want to dig in. I want to go back to the root. And the idea of therapy is supposed to, like, I think you dig up these where it initially came from, so that you can then talk about these issues as an adult now, with another adult, and then with this other very smart adult, you come up with a new solution to that actually deals with it, not the non-solution that you had made unconscious. You deal with it with this new solution and make that unconscious. So that anytime these feelings may come or be triggered again, you don't necessarily have to deal with it because you've got an unconscious solution to it. Yeah. And you can kind of just get on with your life and not let it overwhelm you.
That's what we all want to do, isn't it?
Yeah,
Everyone just wants to
it
get on
sounds
with
really, really nice and simple when you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Summed up like that nicely.
Yeah. Basically, my understanding of it is brains are much too intelligent for the idiot humans who possess them.
That's so true, man. That's it. Like, so much of the actual intelligence, like everything that's going on is like behind the scenes to who we think we are, right? Like, we have basically like the worries of the day or the upcoming few months, and then the regrets of the past and all this kind of that stuff flies around. That's kind of the limit of like what you're aware of in terms of like who you think you are. But the rest of it, like where your identity comes from and stuff, is deep, isn't it? Like, I'm really interested in you as well, like going through it and like figuring out the actual, like, what's going on like behind the scenes there, like figuring out the science behind it. I know for a fact, like, I was telling my parents about, like, I've always had a weird thing, like a lot of people have like trouble speaking in front of audiences. That's probably, I think that's like a bigger common fear than death, like in surveys. You know what I mean? Like, it's a huge one, isn't it? Public speaking. But I've always felt like I had it worse than most people, just from like watching them. People, it's like, man, they definitely look like, at least on the surface, they're having an easy time to me. But then realizing, well, I had like speech therapy when I was younger and stuff like that, and that's all going to play a part. So from the time I was 3, I was already being told, like, don't say it like that, say it like that. You know, like, and all this. So you can see how these things get planted so soon. And then when you find that out, it's like, that's just fascinating, isn't it? You can see, and then you think like, what else is getting like formed at that age
Yeah.
that you just carry through. And then he's like, that's me. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Do you have it where you think there's like a vivid sort of childhood memory that you may have? Like, I don't know about you, but I've referred to my memory as a sieve, or more of a colander at this point.
Right.
So can't keep anything in there. But there's like really vivid, specific childhood memories you can think, such as
God,
maybe speech therapy, and you've attached a feeling to it, and you know how you felt in that instance, and it could just be kind of
We were
photographs.
talking about that earlier. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've got like a few of them, like that, like the memory lands, and it's like, oh, I know exactly what I was feeling at that point in time, you know. And even like some really nice memories as well.
Yeah.
It's not all bad.
It's all terrible.
And then, my first memory is about digging through a ballpark, and my first memory I can recall at all, like as far as I'm aware, my brain switched on at this point, was like digging through a ballpark in Canada and looking up, and my Nana Campbell was there with open arms, just like, come here, kind of thing, you know. And as far as I'm aware, that was when my like brain started acting like an actual adult and not like a baby. Do you know what I mean? It was like, oh, like I kind of know who you are, like, and I'm here. Like, he's just quite interested in it. There might be.
That's crazy, man.
The day your awareness dawned.
Yeah, it is.
The light came on.
Who put me here?
Shoot, what
That's
about you?
great. No, man. My memory is nowhere near that good, man. I barely knew what I was doing like last week. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the same with me, but I mean, just there's some like
particular moments.
glimpses. Like I couldn't recite you any events that happened last week very, very well. That's also because pretty much every day is pretty
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still couldn't tell you what it did, even though every day is the same. But yeah, just like the occasional thought will come into your head. Like it's the kind of thoughts that whenever someone asks me about my childhood, I'm just like, I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
But it's just not the case, because you do have like, maybe I can consciously tell you of 3 memories that I do have in my head of childhood now, because I've just trying to do this mindfulness thing when you start to notice things that float through your head.
Yeah.
And those 3 interest me, because I feel like they're not necessarily the root of any of like my issues I may have in my adult life, but there's just interesting feelings that come with them.
Yeah.
Like one where I think, I don't know if this is 100% right, but
Go
I think
on.
it might have been the first time I was kind of left alone
Right.
as a child.
Okay.
And I remember it was me and my mummy. We went swimming. And my mum was just like, right, you go change in there and I'll meet you at the pool. I was like, oh, okay. Paid attention to none of it because I'm a goldfish at that time. Like, just absolutely no short-term
Nothing,
memory.
yeah.
So I was just in the changing room alone, just like, I'm a big boy. Look at me getting changed on my own. And then I left the changing room and I was like, what was I supposed to do? And then just kind of start wandering around, and just sheer panic hit. As I was just, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Where is my mum? Where is she? And I just kind of went to this pool, and I was like, she's not here. And then I just panicked. And then there was this other woman that like came, she was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, where's my mum? So then we walked to the reception. And then the woman at the reception had to do this like announcement to just like, can Jackie Neville please come to the reception and claim her child. And the feeling I remember, that was just like utmost despair, and just like I've absolutely lost her. Like that's it gone.
Right. Yeah,
And it's just really interesting, because that's the thing I remember primarily of it. I don't know if I got any of the details right, but I just remember that vividly.
Yeah.
So if we did a little trace, I might say that might have been a traumatic incident of loss. And any time I maybe lose my pen or something, I would just thrash out, because I feel like I'm lost in the world.
Nice, man. How old are you? And do you think roughly?
4, 5, 6,
Right.
7, or 8.
Around that area. Yeah, I honestly, well, you were talking about that, and like, I have one memory. It's a really funny one. Now looking back at it, my mum used to work nights, so she was a midwife, and so she used to like sleep in the day. So she wasn't in the best of moods sometimes, some weeks when she was on the, because she's fucking tired as fuck, has to look after 3 kids. And then I remember we went to Woolworths because she had to go and get some passport photos done in there. Do you remember the boots? They still have them, but they had one of them in the corner of the shop. And she only had the exact amount of money to do it. And I was like, maybe 6 or 7, maybe. I don't know. My mum's probably watching, so she'll be able to correct me on that. And then so she went in, and I stood outside the little booth thing, and I could hear it counting down, going like 3, 2, 1, and I jumped in and went, wait, like as a fucking thing. Oh my god, my mother lost her shit at me. She was fucking like, you know, when like she's just fucking screaming at you, and everyone else in the shop kind of like screaming at this asshole of a little kid. I remember I was like scrabbling around the shop trying to like find fucking coins and stuff so she could get, that's funny, mum.
Right.
We laugh about it now, but I remember I was so scared of my mum at that point.
That's when you're like realizing that you can actually like you can do bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like, oh, I think I just messed up, and like you actually notice that, don't you? Because I think you have to be at a certain age of maturity before you even like understand. You get a concept of like right and wrong, don't you? At that point, so. And that was very wrong, Brad. I'm sure you know now.
Yeah, man. We'll laugh about it now.
Just a disclaimer, I think our mums are actually pretty good, so...
Yeah, I mean, I love my mum.
Mine's good as well. She's done a very good job.
Mine's good as well. Yeah. Shout out to the mums.
One thing that I find really interesting is more and more people are definitely talking about it. Like, and I can only talk about my own like little circle, but obviously online there's been a big push for like a couple of years now about it, just on social media and things like that. It's probably been going on for a lot longer than we see as well. But people talking about face to face, like, and just being more open about it, because I don't know what kind of changed, but I don't really feel like I've got anything to lose or anything to hide in talking about stuff like anxiety and things like that, or just admitting like, if you're feeling depressed, you can just say it and be like, it's a different thing, isn't it? Like when you realize there's no point, like it's kind of gonna come out anyway in your actions. So just actually talking to people about it, and it's strange how there's still, even though people can say that to each other and say, look, man, like I want you to talk to me, and most people like that, and most people would listen if you wanted to talk to them. There's still like a strange stigma, and again, you can only really talk about yourself when it comes to this sort of thing, but like a reluctancy at first to bring it up, isn't it? What do you guys think about that?
Do you want to?
Yeah, no, I've been thinking about that a lot. I find it really sad that there's people our age that don't feel like they can be open with. Well, I won't say everyone, but like I feel like I can be open with everyone. Like I've got a pretty good gut instinct to know if someone's a dick, so I won't open up to them. But just like talking to your friends, like I feel like that's something I've kind of been lucky to have since I was like 14. That like I have been fine talking to my friends about anything. Just more so now, it's just become a part of me. But just kind of like walking around daily life and coming across just, I find it primarily to be men as well, kind of around this age group, who just there's sort of like an innate thing that they feel like they can't open up. And I've noticed it in myself as well. And what's going on here?
you keep talking, James.
That's blue, blimey.
Go on.
That's blue. Yeah, I found it in if I do go deep in one of my counselling sessions, like when we got pretty heavy, and I felt the need to sort of cry, and I love a good old cry. I think it's a very important thing, a good fucking whopper. But there was just part of me that in the thing I was just like so reserved in doing it, because the instinct within me was just saying, "Don't cry in front of a man."
Exactly.
And I found that really sad.
Yeah, it's sad because again, like how much of that do you think is just something that society teaches? But because the thing is, man, if all guys want to cry and all guys want to be understanding to another guy crying, then what's this weird like external force which is like, don't do that? Do you know what I mean? Well, to
be really blunt, I'd say it's the conditioning from like watching those films and sitcoms.
Yeah, do you think it's more
just the male characters?
Yeah, just media.
Yeah, I think they've sort of act as the third parent anyway for me. Of just like growing up with all this shit, and you've just paint yourself an idea of what a man should be or something.
Yeah,
and you just have to follow that like a script. But then you become like a bigger person. You realize life doesn't quite play out in the way that these sitcoms and films do. So, but you're still trying to follow this script that you've been conditioned to, and it's just not quite fitting the bill of life, because you have not experienced this new thing. You only have seen it experienced in other things. So you've using this innate instinct that you've learnt, this false instinct.
Yeah,
to deal with it.
That's it. Because it's like, which one's real in that situation? Like you're there feeling bad for yourself, because my instinct is like, I want to bore my eyes out right now because that's what I'm feeling. But
right now,
Not right. No, I'm saying, you know, just like it could be
By
any
all
time.
means.
We're all done
No,
with
We
it.
end with a
Start
big old
crying.
cry.
Yeah. No,
Nothing
because
wrong
it's
with a big
great.
old
Like, there's
cry.
nothing wrong with it, but it's just strange that there is this when you want to do it, there's this thing which is like that you shouldn't, or you know, like somehow it's weak or anything like that. It's very, very odd. Since trying to let go of that, occasionally I'll just be practicing piano and I'll just strike a chord and literally just. And it all so it's like it all wants to come out.
That'll be the
It
jazzy
does.
11th chord, I believe.
No, this is like a major 7, or like it's like the 4 chord with a major 7. You know what it is, man.
Stop.
Can you hear it?
Talk dirty.
I can feel it, man. I can feel it.
It's like that, and occasionally watching films as well. I get one big thing was when I saw Martin Simpson, and I hadn't cried in a long time at this point. I hadn't cried properly. I'd had little occasional but even then it's like something fights it, man.
Yeah.
Something's like
Yeah.
I cannot express the
Yeah.
fact that I'm a human because people think that being a human is weak. It's like, who's judging?
I could think of the perfect example as well. It's like, especially with with family. You've
Mm.
gone through so much with your families that just like crying as an adult isn't an option.
Yeah.
And Christmas we watched the Pixar film Coco.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
Not seen
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh.
get it on.
Well,
But like that's a Pixar classic. Like
is it? Okay.
It gets you. It was the second time I've seen it, and just at the end of the film, like I was just like, eyes were just swollen, just like. And then I just look around at my family, and they're all just like, "Fine." I'm just like, "Let's cut this." Dad's like, "You crying?" No,
You're crying.
You're crying. What are you talking about? No, I just poured the whiskey in my eye. Shut up. Yeah.
It's such a funny. I definitely get that, man. There's sometimes where I want to fucking burst my eyes out. I just can't. It's like
Yeah.
I want to,
Yeah.
but something in me just goes, no,
Yeah.
keep your shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's stupid. It's
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
Do you think
man.
it's more of a social thing than anything else? Just general, like the third parent, as you put it. Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I did say that, didn't I?
Mm.
Yeah, I think that for me anyway, that's a big part of it. I don't know if anyone else would feel.
I would
that.
agree.
That's kinda
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
But I feel like that once again, the brain is so complicated. There'll be so many different things just that are just causing so much destruction in your head that
Yeah.
just are making putting a barricade up,
Yeah.
just like sort of trying to protect yourself, but just not working.
Not doing it in the best way.
I love the way I was watching Elon Musk talking about this sort of thing, obviously, and the way he put it was really interesting to me because he pointed out like the fact that we think we have obviously there's like the animal brain and you know, like, have you seen the book like the Chimp Paradox and all that sort of stuff, or heard about that book? I think Aronson was teaching.
Oh
that
yeah,
book
yeah,
at
yeah.
one
No,
point.
I know the Chimp Paradox. That's great.
Yeah, it is. It's a really, really good book, and they talk about like how you have basically the animal brain and the human brain, and then like the kind of computer, and these like 3 different parts. It's really oversimplifying, but
No,
That-
I love how simplified it is.
yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
then you get it, don't you? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Of course. And then when Elon Musk pointed out that you would think that we've developed this human brain which takes over and rationalizes the monkey brain and sorts it all out. But it's actually the other way around. We have a human brain inside us, but it's actually like the idiot like chimp brain is actually the one in control at the end of the day.
Sure. That's,
Kind
the
of-
one, that's the one with the intentionality, the instinct
Yeah,
busting
exactly,
through. It
yeah.
wants to act out.
yeah.
Whereas the
Yeah.
human has to be like, no,
Don't do that.
don't do
Yeah.
that. And the chimp will do it anyway because he's stronger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so fast, and then you see it in yourself, don't you? You see it in road rage, in other people. You see it just how it comes out. Like it's like, did I really just order a kebab? dude, what's that? It's like, I don't feel
Yeah,
like that was
man.
me. You know,
It's 4 a.m.
yeah.
Go to sleep.
And it's not to justify things. Obviously, actions do have consequences, and we can all reason that. But it's just basically to give yourself a little bit of a break and give yourself some leeway, isn't it? And be like, that so many things that happen within your own brain like aren't really under your control. So it's like basically just go easy on yourself. You know, if you're feeling a certain way or in a certain mood, just like you can notice it and not attach too much into it, and just see it's like, okay, that's the curse of being human. Just
Yeah, man.
comes up again.
Something like taming the chimp.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I read another book that refers to it as your inner roommate.
That's right, right.
As well, because he's
Yeah.
always talking.
oh god, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really irritating.
Really
roommate, yeah.
fucking annoying.
Yeah. I just have to tune him out.
It's
Yeah.
like-
I always equate it to like a crazy ex-girlfriend. It's like and when you realise that you want to sort of divorce from her, she goes fucking ape shit and starts like blackmailing you with all this stuff. It's like, you can't live without me. You can't live without me.
I know too much.
I know. Do you remember that thing you did? Now you feel bad, don't you? You need me. And it's just like, oh God, just fuck off, will you? For fuck's sake. Yeah, it's funny, man. But we all experience. This is the thing as well. It's like, because I've really recently started talking about it. So it's like we all experience this in a different. You know, everyone's infinitely as complicated as the next person. For the hell, man, I'm any more that believer kid. But we all have like a similar experience or like feeling or something. The actual experience might be different, but it all gives us the same sort of base experiences and feelings and like, you know, anxieties and stuff like that. We're just, but we don't talk about it, which is kind of crazy, isn't it?
No,
well, we are now.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Well, yeah, we do now.
Yeah. And because I just like how long I've known, especially you for, and how long I've known you for. But I feel like a few years ago,
We just met. What are you talking about?
Shut up! You're ruining the illusion.
No, it's like this is why I feel like there's some kind of change going on, at least within mindset. I don't know what's the main driver of it. I imagine COVID's probably, or like self-isolation, all that kind of stuff is sped up. But I don't feel like I could have talked to you about this stuff like a couple of years ago without feeling like coming across as weird or something. Because it's this thing like your brain kind of tells you you're the only one with this. You're the only one who's like got this inner monologue that's like really critical or like really worrying. You know what I mean? Yeah. Always worrying, that kind of thing. And I think that's a really, really cool change. It's like just opening up about these things. And because you open up and everyone always obviously says, yeah, I have that too.
You're not the only lone survivor in this.
Imagine being a guy who's like, no, I don't really know what to do.
I'm fine, man.
What the fuck are you talking
But
about?
it takes one man who's genuinely fine, and he's the one you've sadly opened up to that you're just like, what? Why me?
No. Yeah, exactly.
No, don't get that. No, it's fine. Shut up.
In a monologue.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's
just
man.
me.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
It's terrifying.
You know the one of like, you know, the inner thoughts, which always makes me have a little giggle.
Go on.
It's like, you know, when you're you like have a conversation with someone, and you feel like the conversation didn't go as well as you thought, or like you wanted it to, or something like that, and you think to yourself, man, I really came across like a dick or like a twat in that situation, or like, you know, I didn't do as well as I thought I did.
Right.
You know, it's like I bet they thought I was a loser in that situation. And then like think back to the way you think, and like, have you ever looked at a conversation you've had with someone else and thought, man, they were a real asshole in that, weren't they? You know what I mean?
Not very often.
Like, not very often at all.
But like,
No.
yeah, that's it, man. Like your critique of yourself is like, no one gives a fuck about you. Not like just you, George. I'm talking to everyone at home, everyone. No one gives a fuck about you, like, because people are too busy.
On the Sun headline.
let's be real here though. Like everyone's mind. Like if you're a computer, your mind's a computer. Let's say like 95% of your fucking RAM or whatever it is spent thinking about yourself, and then like that 5 or 10% where you occasionally think about your family, your close friends, something slips into your mind. That's the other thing. So it's like whatever worry you have when you're having a conversation, like you're saying, Jules, and then that comes into your mind, it's like the likelihood that someone is actually thinking that is so small that it's like it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then even if they did think it, then that's basically one sentence in one person's head, which they might have not even been really paying attention to, that flew by. And then they went on to go about the day.
Yeah.
So you
they
see
weren't focusing on it, were they?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Or other end, if they are the same as you, they're overthinking how they were in that
and
conversation.
that's
as well.
far more likely.
And you're not thinking how they were in the
Exactly,
conversation.
man. This is it, man. So it's like so all these like worries and like stuff that happen like, when you're having conversations with people. It's like it doesn't really exist apart from in your head. So it's like, how much power do you want to give it at the end of the day? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I could worry about in like a social interaction I had a year ago. And I don't wake up that day being like, I plan to worry about this sucker. I'll just bring this one up. But out of the blue, you're going for a walk, and then you're just like, oh, I remember what happened there, and I remember it felt really embarrassing or awkward or whatever. But it's like, like hell is the other person or the other group of people? Are they all like at the same time thinking, man, Matt really fucked that one? Or do you know what I mean? That
What a loser.
exactly. Right? And even if they were, the absolute worst case scenario to the kind of like chimp part of your brain, which hates that kind of thought of people judging you in the wrong way, because it just wants to impress people, basically. Like, even if they were, is that bad?
Sure.
If another person,
And even
you know?
if it was approached to you by them, just like, Matt, mate, you were like really lame in that conversation, then you'd stand up for yourself as well. Like, all this overthinking you've done, thinking, oh, I'll let loose, then someone
backed
says
it
into your face, you're just like, I beg your pardon.
Fuck you. That was great. Yeah. Again, and I think being like a musician, you probably have to deal with this a lot more. Everyone has to deal with it day to day. But we have the added thing of like having to perform, and you know, or like there's pretty much nothing more subjective or universal than music in that sense. So having to perform that, and then you're worrying whether basically can you relate to other people. That's the bottom line with music. You just want to move people. Whatever you're getting out of music, you just want to be able to share that emotion. So you worry that you can't, or that you try to and it doesn't really come off. But that's all the same thing, isn't it? It's like you're not really going to know. You can only really try your best. Anyway, you can only be yourself, can't you? Like when it comes to that sort of thing. But so I think a lot of the kind of anxiety I've experienced, I came to terms with quicker through performance anxiety, and then realizing, hang on, I have the same thing. Like just feeling like I'm performing in front of other people and groups of people, like in social situations. But it's just obviously heightened when you're actually with an instrument in your hand and everyone's staring at you. And then going to like an institute where it's all about that, you know, it's all the same thing, isn't it? Like, have you guys had an experience with the performing side of things?
I could go into very many stories. Let me land on one. What about you, Brad?
You know, it's weird because obviously I used to like perform quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, I used to like be a bit not give a fuck. But then I wonder if that was just like me pretending, putting on a facade because I was feeling. It was a way to like sort of add another layer so that people didn't have to like fucking look at what I was doing. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, yeah. So if I force the facade, then maybe it will become me.
Yeah, it's true, man. And I was like constantly like, thinking, and it's funny, man. It's like me and Matt had a conversation the other day about like I've definitely got a thing around bass playing now, which I don't have when I play like other instruments like guitar or piano. I think it's like, this is fucking awesome. This is why I did music. But then I get onto bass and it's like I feel like an imposter. It's weird though. It's definitely just something that's ingrained from whatever, maybe from college, maybe from earlier on or something, but something about just that particular circumstance that brings it up. But then it's like not in any other musical context.
Well, for me, the whole playing other instruments and kind of just being like, whoa, wicked. I think that kind of just goes back to just the idea that and there'll be people that can play the instruments better than you, and with an instrument that you've just started, you're all right with that. You know that's fine. That's how you've started it. Just like, there's other people can do that, but no one can play you better than you. Sort of, and it's kind of putting that in the instrument you were good at. Sort of, because you've got these comparisons in your head and the overthinking. So when you're playing it, you're not thinking of just like I am playing me.
It's true.
Like you feel like you're trying to copy other people.
Yeah, I definitely get that because I hear things in my head. It's like I play that, or do you know what I mean? Like just before it happens. And then there's almost like another voice in my head. It's like, don't do that. You do that all the time.
Yeah.
Or like, and then it's like,
God, tell me about it.
It's like, what do I do? Fuck. I made a mistake. Fuck, I played the wrong note. Let me get back to the present moment. And then just onwards and onwards.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. But only with bass.
Yeah.
Only with bass. Weird.
I'm the voice in your head.
I can hear a voice in my head. Is that you, my consciousness? Did you want to say something to me,
Genuinely
James?
made me jump.
No, I was just trying to pester you.
Well, you did very well. Have we got any questions from the audience, by the way?
What's this blue shit?
Sure.
Whip out the board, mate. Go on.
Emma says they were called flashbulb memories. I think you were talking about.
Yes. Thank you, Emma.
Wait.
flashbulb memories.
What's that? Just like the things we mentioned earlier, like the ones that just come back from
Yeah.
childhood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Another oh no.
And Kim says, "Thank you for talking about this. It's so
Th-
important."
this is- It's so
pleasure.
important, and I can talk about this shit all day long. And
I feel like we could do this for a very long
Yeah.
time.
Well,
You
don't
could
worry,
think it's almost
we've
like a
got
lot of
time,
people
it's
have
fine.
a lot of stuff backed up that they want to bring forward, man.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that- And then it's like, even as I was talking to you guys, I could talk about it freely because I'm starting to get to the point where I just don't really care anymore. I was just like,
Yeah,
it's
sure.
worth talking about. I'm not the only one. There's nothing to lose, is there? But there's still, even with that mindset, there's still a little thing like, oh, this is awkward. Like, are you sure? Like, people aren't going to judge you for like opening up to the fact that you're basically a human being? Like,
Yeah.
so it's interesting, isn't it?
It's crazy, man. If, by the way, if there's anyone of you have any questions or anything, please ask at home. You know, this is chatting about this shit.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
Oh, so James, what have you whipped out there? A little potto right over there. Very nice.
Bot port,
And you brought
cheese.
cheese. So what cheese have we got? We got blue.
Got Saint Agur, probably pronounced wrong. It's
Yeah.
an Irish. Saint Agur
Agar.
and French Brie. It's called
It's literally French brie.
Brie.
Little classics.
You know, back in the day,
So,
me and
that
Tom
treat.
Starr, when we lived together in second or third year of uni,
Yeah.
we used to get that blue cheese. We'd make like a blue cheese sauce,
Good
have it
band
with
name.
wedges and a steak, and then watch a movie and have a load of gin and get pissed.
Oh,
I was like, oh, like Sunday night.
that sounds lovely, man.
That was delightful.
Little bro date. That's very nice.
Yeah, it was
That's very
alright.
nice. Are you a big port drinker, James?
I'm a big little port drinker.
Okay.
Not big. This is the third bottle I've bought since I discovered it. I discovered it before Christmas.
Okay. Well, you know.
It's great.
Yeah, I've never really. I'm gonna try it. I feel like would it be sacrilege to have it with the wicked? Because that is
Yeah,
a thing,
that-
isn't it?
That sounds
Well, I realise what I've done here is that
Was that what you were planning?
We've done
here?
the blue wicked first, and really should have had the port first, and then
Oh,
tried
Blue
it with the blue
Right.
wicked. But
This smells like if a children's swimming pool was made of Powerade.
it
That
does.
is great.
Matt,
It
did you
does.
finish yours?
Tastes like
Yeah,
it's
mine's long gone, man. I love Wicked.
Do you want
I could
some
drink
more?
that.
What the
Yes,
fuck? Do you
please.
need like a surgical degree to
Do
get
you,
into
do you
these
need?
crackers?
You got a knife there, man.
Oh,
Use
hang on.
it.
No, but they're designed to figure it out.
Yeah, James. Am I passing this?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. So you talk about you doing your mindfulness stuff.
Yeah,
very
mate,
sweet. Yeah, mate. What sort of stuff are you doing then with that? Oh my god, James.
Well, I don't know why I've been put in charge of this.
Yeah, I know this is a nightmare. It's a logistical nightmare. Yeah. So what sort of mindfulness stuff do you
know,
do?
breathing and
Is it like meditating or
yeah, one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah,
You know, I'm just gonna cheese myself up.
yeah.
And,
But that's
yeah,
probably
that's
the
your man,
more.
cheese.
Yeah, we'll do separate night stuff.
Why don't you
know,
talk about your mindfulness thing, Brad? What kind of stuff you've been focusing on?
I
While
will
James is
answer
doing-
you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, whilst you're distracted. So I've been doing it since the start of the year. So I had like a big panic attack at the start of the year, and then had to like think about loads of stuff. And I started doing meditation. So I do 20 minutes of meditation in the morning and it's basically just unguided, silent meditation, and it's basically just me trying to get to a place of not thinking and just presence. So it's simple things like listening to the cars going by, listening to the birds, and just watching your brain, because it's a constant battle, man. Just to like
it is,
to get that stillness. It's great though, man. It really helps me focus in for the rest of the day,
Mm-hmm.
and it puts me in such a good space. And then if I go for a walk as well, on top of that, well, I'm flying high, man.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm high on life. It's wonderful. So have you been just doing it
Yeah,
silence
it's
with
very,
you as
very
well,
similar
like?
thing. Like no like guidance or anything. But a lot of times I either just picking, like if I'm sitting out in the garden, just picking something to focus on. Usually just like if like listening, just trying to make sure it's really, really quiet, like no music or anything, and just basically listen to the fact that it can be really, really quiet, and just noticing, hang on, outside of whatever I'm thinking, that there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit of time in your day. Quite the opposite. taken just this little bit of time to actually just listen to the fact that it's really, really quiet and peaceful. So we're quite lucky around here that it is. You know, obviously it'd be harder in like a city or something, and then that becomes a challenge. But just being like, okay, it is really, really quiet now, and then the thoughts come and go, and just realizing they always come and go. Is that not mad? Pretty much like 5 seconds after waking up until 5 seconds before you go to sleep, the thoughts are just coming, aren't they? And they're just so hard to like. You could never ever predict the next thought. That was a huge realization for me. Is like realizing when you actually sit with them, you can just see the nature of what they are, and obviously they're really, really useful.
Keep going, Mark.
I love the paz and the cheese.
I am listening. I'm listening.
That cheese does look really good, though, man.
Awesome.
Oh my god. Now I can't stop thinking about cheese.
Sorry.
Probably should have prepared this before the
I
podcast.
know.
maybe?
No, that's okay, man.
That's
rough and ready.
Yeah, we're rough and ready.
Wicked and blue cheese.
Yeah.
No, but
go on.
just being like, okay, I even now, because I've spent so much of my life focusing on music, but it's getting to the point like overthinking is going to be the one thing that gets in the way of me doing what I want to do with music. Dude, I'm realizing that like I don't need to get any better, like, because it's all subjective anyway. Like, you know, tell that to like Tom Waits is like he didn't all he had to do was be himself, right? After a certain point, he didn't need to add anything on top of it.
Fucking Randy Newman.
Yeah, exactly.
The musician.
Just it's like more people just want to hear your take on things, isn't it? That's all it comes down to. But I've got this huge thing about like everything I do needs to be perfect. There's no point releasing unless it's perfect. There's no point doing anything with it or performing until I've got it absolutely down. And I think I've probably always had that, but it's been brought out to an extent. And even to the point now, I find it, until I got into it, that trying to take 20 minutes out of my day just to literally just sit around and chill out felt off. It felt like what I could just feel the complaint kicking. Like, man, you need to go and do something. Like, you need to practice. You need to listen to music.
Yeah.
You need to like better yourself. Otherwise, what's the point? That kind of line of thinking. Realize like, that's really toxic. It's like, I'd be like, holy fuck, that's toxic. But I've been in that headspace for most of my adult life. It's like crazy, isn't it? I have it like to a certain point. By the evening, if I feel like I've worked hard enough that day, I can kind of let myself off loose and like just watch some Netflix and chill out. But I definitely have a thing, like there's a cut-off point in my day where I need to have worked hard at whatever, like, and I need to have done a good few hours of musical practice before I can give myself permission to actually relax. And so just trying to take 20 minutes to be like, I don't have to think about anything.
Yeah.
Like the only person that was telling me I did was me, like, all along, which is so strange, man. It's like, it's literally like being a fish in water and be like, you know, there's more going on here, and be like, what? No, this is it. Like musical worries. That's the Matt Campbell story. That's like, that's what's going on. So yeah, and then it's fucking awesome. It's such a good feeling when you actually hit it, when you can spend a few minutes just being wherever you are, and it doesn't have to be anywhere amazing either. That's the weird thing about it. It doesn't. You can just be sat in your room, but if you actually are just looking around and being present and not trying to judge anything, not trying to like label it or say like, well, this is cool, but what about the fact I'm doing this performance next week and I might fuck it up? Like forgetting all that and just literally being where you are.
Yeah.
It's too simple, isn't it? It's like it's so simple that I think it gets overlooked.
Definitely, man.
I think, but again, I can only talk about myself, man. I don't know how other people see it. So
Literally, what you were describing there was like constantly needing to feel like having to do something. So I was like that for like most of my life. You know what I mean? But I think we're drilled in. That's the kind of society that we live in. But that's like definitely drilled in. Do you have that sort of thing to be like having to do shit or like feeling like you do? Or, I mean, maybe you don't. I
got
know.
quite good at tuning it out.
Right.
Okay. So I do nothing forever. No, well, it's just changing. What I don't want to keep going on about the pandemic, but I just think it's been quite a cornerstone a little bit.
It's relevant.
The day the world kind of stopped, and then everyone was just put down to the exact same level.
exactly.
Sort of. So we were all just kind of filling our own destinies.
Yeah.
So literally as productive as you want to do, and in that time, that was the most productive I've ever been.
Yeah.
With like in terms of like things that make me feel allowed to sleep at the end of the day. You've done good enough to deserve napping.
Yeah.
Music's a pretty toxic one to get in your head for. Like,
It is, man. I think
You'll get nothing. The more you worry about getting things done, you're not going to get shit all done.
Exactly,
Because you're just going to be thinking about it.
Yeah,
the whole
exactly.
Time.
Yeah,
nothing to achieve.
Yeah, exactly. You get more done. This is the crazy paradox. When it's like we've all done enough, listening to music or whatever. Even like your average like person who's never like tried to practice an instrument or whatever, you'll get more out of it just by basically chilling out and accepting whatever thoughts you're having, letting them come and go, which they always will as well. And just being wherever you are, it's crazy because usually when that happens, you end up feeling quite motivated. Yeah. And music might actually start pretty much like doing itself for you, and you actually start like hearing things and feeling inspired. But you can't think your way into it, can you? You by trying to think your way into it, you actually just like digging a bigger hole, and you're just getting further and further away from it. So that was a really, really weird one to realize for me. Being like, I can't. There's no amount of thinking is going to accomplish this for me as much as I want it to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have said that. I remember, like, I always talk about Justin Vernon because he's just awesome. But he was basically saying it's like the point where he
episode.
No, it's the point where he let go. And kind of, he basically said like maybe music's not for me, and thought about trying something else, and was like, this isn't going to happen. That's when it started to happen for him, because I think that's basically what he's describing, was just like he wasn't clinging on too tight. He wasn't like holding on to this thing and like trying to create it. He just let himself be, and then it just started kind of coming to him anyway.
Right, yeah.
It's like a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
It's very interesting.
I definitely think that's where inspiration lies in all aspects of life. It's like presence, just like being with, like whenever you have like that feeling, you know, when you're like at a jam night and like everyone just clicks, and it's the most fucking awesome feeling ever.
I'm a keyboard player.
Surely you must have experienced this, James, a little bit.
Once or twice for a couple of minutes.
But that feeling, like I definitely think that's like when everyone's listening, and when I say listening, it's like everyone's listening and being present, and they're not thinking. It's just a motor function. This thing's happening. I think like inspiration definitely. I feel way more inspired in general and just more creative stuff just from just being more present, not thinking about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I used to worry about all my film work and stuff. I don't give a fuck now. Honestly, I don't. I really don't give a fuck. And it's great. It's good, man. It's just like, because the stuff happens anyway. It's like the date gets booked, people will turn up, some musicians will play something, I will film something, something will come out at the end of it. That's it.
I always had the if I'm left to my own accord, I'll get stuff done. That's fun. But if there's a deadline, it's just like the thing going through my head is just like, if I do that now, then I won't have to do that later. And then it's the day before, and you've done shit all.
Yeah.
But you're just like, sorry, what's this house is saying? Go, if you leave it to the last minute, it only takes 1 minute. Yeah, sure.
I like that. I like that.
You've been stressing about this whole thing this entire time, and you've got nothing done. You've sat down once or twice to maybe do it, but you're just like, nothing's coming. And then you whap out something the day before. But like now, if I've got a deadline to do, I just like take him just like, I'm not going to be doing that till a couple of days before. It's fine. And because I've got that in my head of just like, I will do it. I know I'll get it done. I've never not got something done. Don't hold me to that. But like most likely, when I've kind of made that, put that in my head and just let that grow, I'll probably get it done pretty quickly, like many days before, and I'll be like, I feel fucking great. Yeah,
yeah, beautiful. When you expect the worst and you actually do okay, best feeling ever, man. It's so good, isn't it? We like that with like college deadlines and things like that. Like, is that just a theme of your life? Just. Yeah, same.
No comment.
Have you ever done an all-nighter and that kind of thing?
No, I would never even dream of doing an all-nighter.
Sleep's too important.
Yeah, well, it's just, you're going to feel terrible. The whole like staying up to revise for your exam the next day. It's just like, don't.
Yeah.
You're just pooing with your trousers on. That's
Do you remember some of Matt Brown's famous all-nighters?
Well, I did one all-nighter, and my only marker of whether everything was okay in the world or not was that I kept going onto Facebook just to check whether Matt was still online. So it was 6 a.m. Yeah, Matt's still online. Okay, he's in the exact same boat as me. At this point, he was locked in Wellington Mill on his own in the dark because I don't think the lights were working on his computer doing his assignment. Okay, so I was like, you know what? At least I'm in my comfy bed, and I can have a drink if I want. Everything's cool, and I'm not literally locked in a mill. And then it got to 9 a.m., 10 a.m. He's still online. Beautiful. I was like, me and Matt together. But he's done a few. I think he's pretty bad for leaving at last minute, isn't he, compared to the rest of us?
Yeah, man. But then I used to judge Matt for his.
Say when.
That'll do. I don't really know with Port, to be honest, man. So.
You realise that the Blue Wicked was there so that you can combine the port with the Blue Wicked.
I know, but I was too thirsty.
I guess
and everyone seemed to really enjoy the Blue Wicked as well.
Well, at the end there, I was just like, get it gone. I want port.
Yeah, I'm kind of in port.
But let me have a few sips of port, and then I'll hit you up on that the old mixeroonie.
It's gone.
Oh,
that was it.
Blue Wicked's gone.
Yeah, thank fuck for that.
Oh, well.
That was it.
It was very nice. It's lovely.
I love this kind of podcast.
Sorry, we have a question.
Oh
from
yeah, go on. Let's hear it.
Kim, James, has your inner critic been an issue while songwriting recently or in the past? For example, is something you've had to go overcome to get to a place where you want to share your music now?
Yeah. I feel like there's not a songwriter in the world really that wouldn't say yeah. But mine was slightly different. Mine was pretty much just because my inspiration would usually just come from listening to music while on a walk or something.
Right.
And I'd just be like, wow, that's good, that's amazing, I feel so inspired. But what I then realised after about a couple of hours of songwriting is I was just inspired by that song because I wanted to write that song.
Yeah.
So therefore you've written that song. Just like, then your inner critic, your inner roommate, your chimp is just going just like, what's that? That's crap. Go on, don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's just about getting good at just knowing that you're not going to get anything done from that point. So then you just give it a rest for a bit. And then you come back to it. Even like a couple of months later, every song I've written has been like over the course of a few months. Because like I may have written a song and then it's been to Andy Shelf something. Any Andy Shelf fans?
No.
Oh.
Who's that?
We'll pop a pin in him.
Okay.
But but then you come back to it a couple months later, you haven't been listening to the same thing you were, so you could rewrite it, and then just you've been listening to loads of more music, and that's kind of, so it gets to the point where you've listened to so much that you kind of start to think for yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just applying the little tools that you've heard in these songs to the song, so then you can be like, oh, I might do that here instead. I know they did this, so I'll do that.
Yeah.
So
Do you think there's an element as well of you started that thing, you leave it, and then your subconscious is like kind of calculating that shit in the background. It's coming up with some little tricksies that you can throw in, and then you come back to it and it goes, there you go, gives it you on a plate.
Yeah, pretty much. If some days it's just so easy. The first song I played, Boy Who Played With Trains, that came out in a day out of my head. Like there was never any sort of difficulty like getting that down. It's just all the lyrics just get, like lyrics is a really weird one for me. I'm never gonna understand lyric writing, and I don't really want to. It's such a strange thing.
Yeah.
But like it just came out all in one day because it's just what I was thinking about that day. And that's I think the only song I've written that kind of has, well, one of two, but it's like they're the only ones that have actually had like a coherent sort of thing going on. It's about the same thing, but loads of them are just kind of like a vague subject matter that have been written over the course of a couple of months because I just haven't been productive on particular days when I try to write it. But then there's just two songs just spaffed out in a day, pretty much.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that when that happens.
But I just try not to think about that too much because I know it's not going to be like happen every single time. Maybe someday I might get to the point where that can just happen, just like, I want to write a song today. Out it comes. But
That'd be nice.
But you just feel different every single day, don't you?
Yeah, man. That's it. That's the beauty of it, though. It's like when you're feeling a particular way and you are able to capture it. Like you're capturing a moment there, and like you're freeze framing of a time and you know, space and time. It's just like that's a beautiful thing as well. Especially if it's like, I mean, we talked about Justin Vernon, but I'll say again, but like But like he's definitely one. Like it's like all of his music feels like it captures. I mean, there's billions of artists do it, but like like it takes you to a certain place, and it's very like relatable and stuff. I think those songs where you are able to just get it all out in one, it feels like very genuine and sort of it's at the core of whatever that feeling is.
If I may just add one thing about Justin Vernon, because big fan, I'm a human. But when I get, there's a particular line of inspiration in my head that I get with like Bon Iver kind of stuff, and then I'll find myself just writing a song and I'll just be like, that's just Bon Iver, and the lyrics don't mean anything. I just got overcome with pretty metaphors and stuff. And Justin Verner's got such a beautiful way of being really metaphorical when he wants to, and then just really blunt sometimes. Just I'm happy as hell you stayed for tea.
Yeah,
Like that. I love that. But that's just kind of
yeah.
It just doesn't do it. Like, not that doesn't do it for me. It obviously does, but just mean like in a songwriting thing. Like I can't, if I'm ever writing a song, I can't listen to Bon Iver because it's just gonna like trigger like the inner works of just being like, you cannot do that. You can't do anything as good as that. But I can do me.
But it's not. It's not you, isn't it? That's what it is. Is like you can try and copy these people, but
then there's
the good shit is the you.
Andy Shelf.
Oh, let's pull that out of that pen. Come on.
I've never found an artist who's just like, wow, you just write music for me, don't you?
Just
like you've done that for me.
Yeah,
he has an album called The Party, which I recommend every single person go and listen to it in your headphones tonight in bed and listen to every single lyric, because it's just about it's like a concept album of just having a pretty shit time at a party.
Nice.
Which we've all
the whole
had,
album.
baby.
Yeah, it's just like that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
That's just exactly how I think music should sound.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. What's it called? Andy
Shelf.
Andy Shelf.
I'll send them to you.
That's the best thing. Like
out,
you were saying, when you write a song and it comes really easy and everything you're doing flows out, but then also when you find a song where someone like concisely and also like metaphorically sums up how you've been feeling about life in one song in the space of like 4 minutes, and then you're like, oh my god, like that's like also the equally just an amazing feeling, isn't it, when you have that?
Thank you, McFly. You just knew how I felt that
yeah,
day.
exactly. Big Fly are always doing that.
Yeah,
the script just hit it in the head once again.
5 colours in a hair. Jeez.
Thank you, Michael Bolton. That's exactly what I needed. Yeah. Said no one ever.
Hey. Have you actually given him the chance though?
As much as any man should.
or could.
I can go the distance.
Yeah. But also, like, it started as a joke, but he is genuinely very, very talented.
Oh, he is amazing.
In terms of let alone songwriting, let's put that aside, just as a singer.
Yeah.
Amazing. Technically amazing. Like, just
I love watching
fantastic. Amazing.
I've started something here, haven't I?
You have.
Go on, I
George.
love watching his adventures into classical music as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's always fun. Like Ness and Dormer. Oh, harrowing.
Fuck.
Oh, James, honestly.
Gorgeous.
Like, did you just hear it there?
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. And then he does Ave Maria as well with Placido Domingo.
Didn't he do one with one of like the 3 famous male singers that had a famous name? The 3 tenors? Is that right? What were they called?
I don't know, George. I don't know if I've seen this one.
So, Michael Bolton, the man from Nickelback, and Michael Bublé.
Chad Kroger.
Oh no.
There's a band that gets a lot of stick, which I
Thoughts on Nickelback? I think they've got some tunes.
They got some tunes, man. They got some. The early stuff's fucking
I don't need to
awesome.
share my fucking thoughts.
Like another band, same with like Coldplay. It's like, come on, they've got some stuff, man, but they have this like cult
Coldplay
stigma.
are big for a reason. That is all I give them.
Yeah, I mean the late stuff, nah.
Yeah.
But
They did not write that from me. Is all I can say about Coldplay.
Nah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But what's that first album? Is it the first album?
Parachutes?
Parachutes.
Yeah.
If it was Bob Dylan, yeah.
Sparks, man. Sparks is just a beautiful song.
Glorious.
Okay.
James doesn't agree. All right,
I
James.
just don't care.
So refreshingly honest. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Right, James, I'm going to ask you what your 5 Desert Island discs would be.
You didn't tell me you were going to ask me that.
What? Go on.
Do you want some more crackers?
I could.
I'm okay, to be honest, man.
Really?
Yeah,
He's
thank
got
you
glasses-
for
glasses
now.
on.
I'm good.
His wheel of French brie,
Mm.
which tastes very French.
It's
if
so
I say may
French.
so.
It's unbelievably French. So
Um,
yeah, James, you're on this desert island. Who knows
Right.
how long for?
How many do I get?
5, but man, if you can think of more, then be my guest. I think
Um,
5's a good number, but
There's kind of 5 albums just spring out to me.
go for it, man.
Don't know. I was listening to Crying, Laughing, Loving by Labi Siffre today.
Never heard of
I
it.
love that album.
Okay.
He wrote It Must Be Love.
Okay.
Love. And it's great. It's off that album. Yeah, it kind of just covers every single mood I've ever felt in one album. Just like, thanks for that. So I could
Nice.
probably just do with that one, to be honest, at the
Well,
minute.
I'll cover you.
But also, like, I don't have necessarily 5 albums that... oh, no, do I? I do have 5 albums that I always revisit. I'm guessing the point of this desert island is I'm stranded.
Yeah,
so
you're going to
these
be
are
there a
5
while.
things.
You know, I always think it's important to think of like the different moods that you might be in. You know, you're kind
How
of.
long am I there?
I'm going to say you're there for 3 months.
Oh my god.
Christ. 3 months. What mood am I in?
Right,
Am
you're
I happy to be there?
Confused.
You know what? Right. Yeah,
Obviously.
yes. I'd say you've settled
Better
in.
stick Nina Simone on then.
I'd say you've settled in for a week. You know, you've been there a little while. You've got your resources. It's not so bad. You wake up in the morning. It's a beautiful sunrise. It's going to be a nice day. You feeling good? What album would you put on?
Let's see. If I was in a good mood, I'd put on. But I've used it in a podcast already in previous weeks. The best album to dance alone to.
Okay.
Sound of Silver LCD sound system. Keeps bringing back. Actually, no, I'll just use this is happening instead. Then I've already used that one. I'll use a different LCD sound system one.
Go on.
So you'll say This Is Happening. Or American Dream is good. Let's move away from LCD sound system. Crying, Laughing, Loving, Labi Siffre. Cat Named Dog, Norma Tanega. Mezzanine, Massive Attack. Do I want the party bandy shelf? I don't need to remember what parties are like. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll say This Is Happening because I don't need to remember what it's like being with all my friends.
Okay.
And then, how many have I said?
That's like 4.
Keep going, man.
There is
so
another
You
one.
are there for 3 months. We'll give you another 5.
Yeah, you're going to be there a little while.
Okay, so I did Mezzanine, did Labi Siffre, did Norma Tanega. Oh, I've got to have some Nina Simone, but what Nina Simone? She may not make the cut. I think she's already engraved in my head, enough as it is.
You don't
That I
need
can
to.
just sing her to myself.
Oh, that's
In
nice
her
one.
voice in my head. Contra, Vampire Weekend will do it. That's the sound of the summer, that album.
Okay.
And then maybe I want to feel quite clever someday.
Mm.
Maybe I keep forgetting I really like jazz. I just keep forgetting that.
What's again now?
Do I want to listen to? Oh, maybe that. Do I want vocal jazz or do I want instrumental
I
jazz?
don't know. Wow.
We'll just fucking say In a Silent Way by Mr. Miles Davis. 'Cause
Wow.
that's great.
So, I'm going to ask you a question now.
Good.
Good, as we do. This is a podcast. I ask you questions. So have you not had that, like, because I feel like a lot of the jazz dudes that we know have, like, taken a step away from the jazz. You say you still enjoy it and, you know, it's still in your life?
I still enjoy it because I stepped away from trying to be too technical.
Right.
I could get bogged down in the fact that I'm not an amazing improviser. But I really like playing it. I really like playing and singing jazz. Even if it's just in my living room for no one to hear.
Yeah.
Like I just still like it that much. I don't really. There's a kind of like a jazz mindset goes around in the scene that just doesn't relate to me at all. The idea that you have to strive to be kind of the most proficient at your instrument, and I just don't think you will be.
No.
Um,
no.
And I feel like it's a difficult thing to get bogged down. Some people have the absolute superpower mindset of just like getting it done, and I admire that. It's just completely opposite to what mine is, but not in a lazy way.
I know.
I just want to enjoy what I'm playing without thinking of how can I make it better.
Yeah,
sort of.
definitely, man.
Well, yeah, but it's a weird. It's kind of like I'm a bedroom jazzer.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's like, for me, the cut point is: would you do it if no one was around to hear it? Like, do you generally just enjoy the feeling of it?
Sure, yeah.
And if you don't, what on earth are you doing in there? Like, what are you doing on stage? Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So, I enjoy it just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
For whatever it is. It's not great, whatever I'm doing, but it's something, you know.
No.
What kind of jazz do you play? Or when he's singing, what?
I really like.
Inspired by him?
I love Chet Baker.
Yeah, same.
So it's I just pretty much work my way through Chet Baker sings. I love Billie Holiday as well. So I do. I'm a fool to want you. And I like Louis Armstrong as well, but you can't help but do an impression of Louis Armstrong when you say Louis Armstrong. Yeah. I'm not going to do it.
Damn, come on, man.
In my solitude.
That sounds pretty good, man. I was surprised then. Fuck.
Shit.
You told me.
So if I like walk past your living room on like a Tuesday afternoon,
Randy Newman.
Bam. Randy Newman.
James Blunt.
No. It kind of goes hand in hand with that. I sing and play a lot of Randy Newman. Just working through the Randy Newman songbook, just like housemates have left, just sprint down to the piano to bust out my unlistenable cover of "Wandering Boy" by Randy Newman.
Nice.
Which, if you haven't watched his Tiny Desk, do so.
I have watched his Tiny Desk.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Forgive my ignorance. I don't really know that much about Randy Newman.
He did Toy Story.
I know that that's probably the extent that I know.
He never really had. He's like very well known, but he just never had like his stardom. I don't think he wants it very much. There's a good documentary on YouTube. Not documentary, just a really. I can only describe it as creepy fan video. A guy who just made a video to go film Randy Newman is called "I Am Unfortunately Randy Newman," which I was watching it earlier and I was just like, I have watched this because of my big fan of Randy Newman. But yeah, I could sing you some of the songs, but I don't think you'd know them if you don't know him, you don't know him. You know.
Where's a good place to start?
I really like. Randy Newman's an interesting one because he has some songs I just fucking won't listen to. I can't tolerate. Because a lot of it is just like there's like a synth pad and like, and then but you just want to hear Randy Newman singing with a piano and optional strings. So there's the Randy Newman songbook, which is just Randy Newman singing all of his songs. I keep saying Randy Newman.
Randy
Newman. He's just singing through his songs, just him and a piano, and it's fucking glorious.
Okay.
He's got some of the saddest songs I have ever heard. I almost want us to just sit here and listen to his song "Old Man," just in pure silence, and just listen to every second of that song.
Just have close-ups of everyone's face.
Yeah,
just crying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone has gone away. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's fucking good. And he has one called "In Germany Before the War," which
that sounds just like it's already going to be heavy.
I made myself cry by just me singing and playing it. I think that's the extent to his songwriting.
Okay,
because I don't think it was my playing and singing that would have made me cry. Just like, well done.
Nailed it.
It was just like, how could you write this?
Yeah.
How could you do that to us?
Yeah.
And I just don't know what he's singing about. His lyrics are kind of pretty see-through a lot of the time, but it's just like, what are you singing about? Is this about you? I think he just sings about other people. So which I love. I'd love to be in that place of just being able to write songs about other people.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I'm not that interested in myself. I'll write about someone else.
Yeah. That's where a lot of the best songs are, isn't it?
Like all of Kate Bush.
Yeah. Oh god.
Pretty much.
Oh
God, I love Kate Bush.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just feeling too much myself for at the minute, so I just kind of like need to turn into that a wee bit before I start writing about you other fuckers.
I feel like that's a common, like when we spoke to a lot of the other guests about writing stuff, a lot of them have said that. It's like they wish they could write.
Like characters.
I keep trying to be unique, and then you just keep saying it's like someone else has said that.
Sorry, man.
It's fine.
You're just chatting a load of shit, really, aren't you? No. Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, I think again it always comes down to like, is what you're doing genuine? If it's genuine, it's your sound. I think people will gravitate towards it because it's, I don't know, you're not pretending to be anyone else.
It's almost like people can't help but gravitate towards it.
Yeah, they're drawn to it.
And then the opposite, if you're trying to do something that's not you, people can't help but be like, oh, don't do that. It's weird. And then it doesn't really matter what it is after that. If it's genuine, it's going to work, isn't it? And whatever way that comes out. And you can see that just by like all the guests we've had, like so different. If you think about like the scope of artists we've had performing. Yeah.
It's great, man.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It's wonderful. It's wonderful, it is.
Forgive my rudeness, James and George. Would you like some port?
I think that's a yes, isn't it?
I don't know. It's just unresponsive.
I feel like port doesn't agree with me. I agree with port,
But it doesn't.
but it doesn't agree with
Doesn't
me.
want to shake hands with you.
After
Is
you
a
put
rude
that blue
gentleman?
shit in your body.
Well, maybe that's it. Maybe I've only ever had port with Blue Wicked.
Maybe. What? You've never had port on its own? That's kind of
Must have.
crazy. Not with a
I must have.
cheese board or anything. Bloody hell,
If you're
James,
saying
you're an
port,
animal.
if you're saying port doesn't agree with you and you've only ever had it with that blue swimming pool shit, then I might guess it's the
Port is my favourite Christmas drink.
Thank you.
And I always get absolutely wankered on it every Christmas.
Was it just a once
That's
a
great.
year kind of
Yeah,
drink
sort
or-
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I know what you
I
mean.
always find that like a port headache is like beer. I can have headaches. It's fine.
It's just not enough.
Tequila, I can have headaches. It's bad, but it's fine. Wine absolutely ruins me.
Horrible.
Port, it's like that times like tripled.
Like.
Tripled.
It's
Yeah.
awful, honestly. Port ruins me in the morning, but it's so
mate.
tasty.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful little drink. James, you said you had like an emergency questions you wanted to ask. I'm just curious what kind of questions you were gonna.
Is it an emergency?
Well, it's not an emergency, but I'm interested in the way your mind thinks. I'm just wondering how
Okay.
wild this was going to be. I mean, you don't
Um,
have to, but
I could consult my list if you want me to.
so you got an actual list then?
I actually genuinely have a list, yeah.
Okay.
Have you used this list before?
Huh?
Have you ever used this list in a different situation?
Yes, I use this, I'd say weekly.
No way.
It's good.
Weekly.
So before COVID, if you were sitting in a pub with your mates, conversation went a little dry, would you like run to the bathroom,
Get your phone out.
get the phone
No,
out?
I get it
Or
out in
not.
front of them and then just say, no, all right.
Oh dear.
Let's see. A lot of these are. If you were the queen, what animal would you make illegal to eat?
Whoa.
Illegal to eat.
Holy fuck. Bear, I guess.
It's not a lot of bears around here, mate.
No, I would say that as like a blanket rule for, I don't know.
Could I change it up and say that the animal I'd make legal to eat?
But
Lots.
most animals
Yeah.
are legal to eat.
Well, that's a good point, actually. What animals are illegal to eat?
That question. could
Swans.
go on. Swan. I would go.
I'd eat a swan.
I'd go foxes.
Is-
Because I like foxes. I had a really great interaction with a fox once. Well, a great
Hey,
one.
how
An
you doing,
interesting one. Hey, Donnie, how you doing?
Hey, I'm talking to you. What you?
I like just walk down the street, and then it was at night, and then he or she, I don't know, walks up on the same bit of the path, and then we both stopped right next to each other. I looked down at him, and he looked at me, and we just sort of like looked at each other for like 5 seconds. And then we both just like went on our way, and it was such like a weird little interaction. It was like, "You're right." He was like,
Kind of
"You're right."
mutual respect.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't mind foxes, man. I think they're kind of. And people can have pet foxes now. These days, have you seen that?
horrific
These
pets.
bloody days.
I can imagine.
They
Yeah.
smell horrific, and
They
they,
Oh,
just,
really?
screech as well, don't they?
they absolutely scream. They
do
sound
howl.
like it's horrible, but they sound like a dying, like toddler, like a toddler being brutal. So there's many nights I've
Brutal.
woken up of just like, what is that?
Mm,
And it's
I've
just the
been
sound
there.
of someone being absolutely mauled to death. And you look out your window and you see this little fox going.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
They make some freaky noises,
Yeah.
man. What would you do, Matt?
Well, I said bear, but now I'd
Think
realise
about
that, that the Queen's only really in charge of this country, so I'd kind of take that one back.
Yeah.
But also, that just shows that I do care about bears more than most people, whatever that means.
That's fair.
And yeah, if there's any animal on this planet that I wouldn't want to see getting eaten, that might get eaten, then I'd probably say bear. But in this country, I don't know, man. Like, no one really wants to eat fox.
No.
I don't
Well,
think-
this is the angle I take it from. Is just like I feel like there'll be a little bit of a dark market thing. If you make an animal illegal to eat, people will be like, "Why has he done that? I want to eat that animal."
That's
So I do
true.
something pure evil. I'd say like,
Go on.
it's like no, you cannot eat rats. Like don't think about don't
Oh,
eat rats.
Jesus.
Just don't question it. Don't eat rats. And people are like, what does he know?
Must taste pretty good.
What does he know about
Yeah.
rats? And people will be like selling rats, just like, it's disgusting. What's it?
Mm.
Well, I just like the idea of making something illegal to eat, and
Yeah,
then people
but-
are fucking eating it
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Bit of mystery.
I'm there with my 3 pet rats.
That's horrible.
Lovely pets.
Yeah. James, what would you make illegal? I'm intrigued. If you were Queen of Scotland.
Otters.
Mm. Great
Oh,
answer.
there are otters in England
Yeah,
and stuff,
man.
aren't there?
Many.
I would definitely make them illegal to kill.
So, okay. Any
Uh,
particular reason why?
Who's
on
killing
the-
otters?
Farm people.
Mm.
Because
Do
they
they?
attack.
Yeah.
They attack.
Farmers.
I think they attack livestock.
Just farmers. Otters have a bad thing with farmers.
I don't know. They do stuff, and farmers don't like it.
Okay. How often do I guess it's only in seaside sort of farm
Maybe
places.
it's
where
stoats that are the bad one.
Stoats.
Bloody stoats.
Never even heard of them.
Either way, they're fucking cute.
Okay. But that's
Have you seen them like when they're swimming on their backs, just having a nice time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing actions, and I realised that
No
I'm
one
not on
can
camera.
see
We
it.
can.
It was
Can
a
see
very
all this.
camp,
It's
swimming
good.
on my back.
Very graceful. Very graceful. Come on, George. I'm always interested to know what you
What
think,
me?
George.
What was the question again? Animal I don't want to get eaten.
Yeah, basically you'd make it illegal for him to get eaten.
It would be, you know what I'd do? Right, I wouldn't go for anything fancy. I'd just go to fuck over as many people as I could.
Okay.
So I'd think, right, what is the animal that most people eat?
Okay. Cool.
Chicken. I'd
Uh-huh.
make it illegal to eat chickens. No one can eat chickens. All of a sudden, there's just an incredible amount of chickens in the world which can't be killed
In the world.
or eaten.
Only in the
It's
UK,
like,
George. Only in the
Like-
UK, because you're the Queen, remember?
am I the Wait, the Queen?
You're the Queen.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Wait, can I make it so that only I can eat chicken as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
think-
you-
I think the idea, based on my absolutely no knowledge of the Queen, I think she's allowed to eat swans.
Wait, is that what it's all about?
She wants the swans
She
for
wants them for
herself.
She tried it once. She was like,
This
"That's
makes sense.
phenomenal.
This
That's
makes a
for
lot of
me.
sense.
That." Yeah.
No one else.
That's genius, man.
Mm.
Wow. What a question.
Very
Thank you for
thought-provoking.
that.
Yeah, no worries.
Are they all like equally as weird and just sort of, they're just,
Yeah, some are more mundane.
I mean, yeah, you know, you don't have to
Um,
crack out anymore, but I was just wondering
sure,
if,
yeah.
you know,
Okay. Who's
yeah.
the oldest person you fancy?
Helena Bonham Carter.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. But there's something about her that's just, yeah. I quite like the I like that she plays a crazy character a lot of the time, and she's very like kind of, I don't know, something.
It's like crazy character, crazy character, crazy character. Apart from once when it's just loving mother.
yeah. She's great, man. Yeah, I think it definitely. That's the first one that came to my head instantaneously.
What about you, James?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl
Like
Streep.
that
She's
Glyn came
beautiful,
back.
man.
Yeah,
She's a
she's
beautiful
beautiful.
woman.
Yeah.
She is.
Amazing woman.
Amazing.
Matthew.
Shania Twain.
So, I love how quick all of these are. It's like we've
Rapid.
thought about it a lot. know what the answer is.
So I've been waiting to say
Yeah,
that for years.
the
man.
subconscious.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, the subconscious mind has been working on this one for a while. It's like, there you go, it's on the plate. And anything in particular about Shania Twain? Is it her music or is it just her?
Yeah, beautiful
been-
music.
Right.
That is that country twang, isn't it? I can't talk about Shania Twain, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Country
Not gonna pick
twang.
it up well.
Huh?
Country twang.
Yeah, twang is in the accent.
She's got a twang.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just confused. I was just like, I wouldn't describe Shania Twain and train.
Shania Twain. That's a different.
Shania.
Let's leave it there.
Oh dear. Right. If we've not got any more stupid, what? Sorry.
I've
if
got
we're not-
one.
Oh. Okay. Go on.
Who's your biggest man crush?
Oh, Henry Cavill.
He's a shit actor, though.
No. Well, yeah, but I don't know what particular.
He's an absolute specimen of a human.
Oh, but he's
I'll
got.
get one.
There's something that is this facial hair that he has when he has the mustache. Is it a James Bond film or something?
No,
where he's got
you're
it?
Mission Impossible 18.
Oh man, it's just he looks great. He looks awesome.
You're looking up photos of him. Great.
Yeah, get that
Great.
picture because he's does it for me, man. Just in terms of like what a mustache could be, this guy's got it. Have we got one that we can show people? Go on, George.
That is pronounced.
They're all really
It's-
small. Sorry,
it's-
let's try to get one that we can enlarge on the
That's
screen.
fine. James, who's your sexy man crush?
So many.
I've got two, and I can't decide which one I fancy more. I think I do know which one I fancy more, but I'll tell you both. I'll let you decide which one I fancy more.
We can choose. Go
The
on.
first one is Jude Law.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I could see that.
Hunk.
That's
Yeah.
a tasty little man bun right there.
And the second one, hello there, Ewan McGregor.
Wait, but you look like Hugh McGregor.
Yeah, I fancy myself.
Yeah, I love
Something
myself.
freaky going on there. Man.
I would personally, if I was to pick between those two, it'd be Ewan McGregor because just their facial hair and
I'm more of a Jude Law man, personally.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nick from New Girl.
Oh,
He is something.
and
yeah.
Schmidt as well. From
Nah, fuck him.
fair enough. What do I know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's something about Nick, isn't there?
Yeah. No, he's complicated feelings for Nick in New Girl.
Oh really?
He's an absolute specimen of a man.
Who's
It's
Mike?
right there, mate.
Let's show the people at home the
Yeah, let's
the
get on to
glorious
the
picture,
truly
the true
the most gorgeous man ever on
of,
the
all- of
planet.
all time.
God damn it! Look at that.
Look at that, James.
It's unbelievable.
He's a one. The thing is, he must just look in the mirror and be like, "God, I got lucky." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, he probably everyone's got a little bit of that body dysmorphia, man. He probably looks at himself and thinks, "Fuck, my nose is a bit crooked, innit?"
He's thinking I'm not Jude Law, though, am I?
Well, it's all right, but it's no Jude Law.
I wish I was Jude Law.
Yeah. No one's mentioned the obvious one, man. This is for me as of 2 weeks ago. Jake Gyllenhaal. That guy is beautiful. Holy fuck, man.
Yeah, he's handsome, man.
No,
No, he's in-
No.
He's in what films have we?
What's the
watching?
one we watched recently?
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler
Yeah,
is great,
he's so hot. He is great in that. No, Love and Other Drugs was the one we watched. Okay, yeah, man, it's a year into lockdown. It gets lonely. You watch a rom-com. We want it.
You don't have to tell me. I've been a rom-com a week.
Survivors.
Is that it?
Not Survivors. It's like Taken. What was that?
With
Oh,
Jake
Jude-
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Prisoners.
Prisoners. That's it,
Yeah.
Survivors.
Hugh Jackman's a
Handsome.
crazy guy.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, the
long,
bad guy.
Long away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it-
what you mean.
Far away from him.
Was he Batman? No.
What's he?
You're thinking of Christian Bale.
George Clooney.
The villain in the first was an old Batman. Is
Do
that
you
what
mean
you're saying? I don't know. I know what you
Willem
mean. George,
Dafoe. He wasn't Batman, no.
Is this still live?
hang on. What was the guy saying?
Oh, are you filming this?
Yeah, this is being filmed.
You know,
Fucking
for
It's
hell.
the
been
first,
recorded.
it's really hard to say the first Spider-Man film because there's been like 3 or 4 reboots of them. But the first of the new Spider-Man films,
Right.
the villain in that, he was Batman, wasn't he?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I know what you mean.
What's his name though?
I don't know.
Oh, I could tell
I
you
assume
if
you're
I
right.
hadn't
I
had,
don't know.
had this much.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He's also in Birdman.
great film.
Very good film.
Really great film. Great soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
Very
It's
creative.
just drums, innit?
Just drums.
You know,
for
it
the whole
didn't win
thing.
an award because it was just drums. I
Yeah,
found that
because it
on
didn't have
film.
notation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember
Which,
hearing that.
I know. I mean, I guess I get it a little bit, but it
still,
didn't need it. Didn't need it. It was-
Still a
It's
piece of
good fun,
music,
wasn't
man, isn't it? Right. I think we've chatted enough shit.
Really?
Unless you've got
I've got a
some-
lot more to say about Jurassic Park. If it's, if anyone's-
well, I mean, if you want to
It's
bring in
alright.
Jurassic...
That's after the break, man.
Oh, yeah, we've got another break and then we're having the Jurassic Park section after
The
this.
recital section.
The
Yeah.
moment you've all been waiting for. James talks more shit about Jurassic Park.
Perfect.
How long do you think, genuinely, how long do you think you could talk for about Jurassic Park? Like, if I was to put a timer on, I'm not saying do it, but I'm like, you know, just sound
I
really
think
low.
I had a video chat date at the start of lockdown, and we watched Jurassic Park, and I think we were I would like give like facts about it just throughout the film, and then afterwards I think we chatted till about 7 a.m. and a lot of that was just me talking about Jurassic Park.
She was asleep.
She wasn't even responding. You were just sending off essays about
So, yeah, that's very true. And another thing, it's quite interesting actually. I'm not going to chat any more shit about Jurassic Park.
It's interesting.
It was a good film, though.
Yeah, it's a damn good film.
Fucking killer film, Mac. Killer film.
Oh dear. Right, if we haven't got any more shit to chat, I reckon we just cut the head off this beast. Have done.
Well, how long's that been?
I think we're on like 2 hours and a bit, something. I don't know. So we've done all right, you know. We got, yeah, I think we did. Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Holy God.
All right. Well, let's
Right, so
definitely-
no one's watching.
yeah. Let's definitely wrap it up then, because Jesus. Sorry, people at home. Well, I hope you enjoyed what we've been talking about.
If
been
they're
some-
still watching, they love it, Brad.
yeah, yeah. Whoever is watching, I fucking love you.
God bless you.
Right, James. Where can people maybe find your stuff online, if you ever do it?
Message Nathan, he's got my demos.
Right, Nathan J. Carroll. He'll send
No,
you
I
them.
tell you what. If you really, really want to try and hear something that I have recorded,
Yeah.
there is a EP out there on SoundCloud that I recorded with a piano trio, and
Okay.
we were called Slims. So if you really want to hear me
I
play
remember
some
that.
piano with
I
bass and
remember
drums
that.
with Chris Roberts and Will Graham, it's the EP's called the EP. It's called "Help Me Sleep" by Slims.
Nice.
You won't find it, but if you do find it, that's amazing and like great job, because I can't find it.
It was your
Yeah,
band.
if you find it, let me know.
Yeah, send a link
that
to
would be
James.
great.
And then the other projects you're in, you've got Might Be, you've got...
Yeah.
Go on,
time.
I think it's time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
So James is in... what was it? What would you describe that music as? Like,
Might be.
yeah. Oh,
Oh
what?
my gosh.
There it is. That's your own
Nice.
Might Be.
Hang on.
I think we can just about see it. So yeah, if you
It
James
says
is in
Might
that
Be.
project, Might Be. So if you want to get yourself some, is that merch still available? I don't know.
Try and get in contact with Phoebe and bring her a T-shirt.
Yeah. Any other projects you want to shout out before we wrap up, James? That you're doing?
Will Hearn has songs out soon. I think I'm on them.
Do that. Oh man, this is great. Right, last question, James. If you could sum this podcast up in 3 words, what would it be?
Right. Cheese crackers port.
Cheese. There you go. You got it there. Cheese crackers port, man. Bam.
What else you want? I could be more interesting if you want,
No.
but cheese crackers
No,
port
first,
kind of.
first 3 words, man.
The word paedophile is given in my head, but I don't know why.
No.
There's a reason we don't say the first thing that comes to our head.
It's cheese cracker ports.
It's cheese cracker
We'll
port.
leave it at
Cheese
that.
cracker port paedophiles.
Mark.
I would say 2 hours 40.
2 hours 40. 2 hours 40.
Shite.
Mindfulness, cheese, music. There you go. Fucking sorted. Mindfulness,
Lovely.
cheese, music. Lovely. All right, James, people want to find you stuff online if you ever put stuff out there. What's your Instagram thing? Your Instagram account?
James Davis.
Bam.
James Davis.
There you go. So keep an eye out for James' stuff because it's fucking awesome. We're going to be putting out his live session on Friday. So that'll be on our YouTube channel. So go on there, subscribe. This is where we're going to be doing our live streams of the new episodes. We've got our new Rec Rooms series coming out. We've got our new... Well, we're going to be doing another Rec Rooms live sessions as well. So subscribe. You'll see all that stuff. Thank you very much for listening. If you're on the audio podcast, hope you had a good day, evening, wherever the hell you are. We'll see you all soon. Thank you, James. You're a star. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, George. Thank you, James.
We've been amazing.
We've been fucking awesome.
So good.
Have a beautiful day wherever you are, and we'll see you all for the next episode. Goodbye.